big old game coming up here, waving that green light, and we are on. Hey guys, how you going? So BKR Sport. We are live as the New Zealand Warriors travel to Brisbane to take on the Brisbane Broncos in a game that is extremely important here for both teams. I'm going to get rid of this fraud alert on the Broncos because they did get a win last week, and we're going to take whoever it was off of whatever. So the Broncos are off fraud alert there. But yeah, this is a huge game here for both these teams where, look, the Broncos are trying to fight for their top 8 spot. They are trying to guarantee themselves a top 8 spot and also compete technically for a top 4 spot, but they have definitely only had kind of one game that's given it a good showing of late, where it was against the Cronulla Sharks just last week. Outside of that, obviously, the last win before that was against the Gold Coast Titans, which doesn't really tell you a great deal too much about the team, considering the Titans are in 17th position. But last week was a solid enough win coming back from down against the Sharks team. There's the biggest scammers that I ever did see scam. Like, they just are. It sickens me how much the scam team they are. It sickens me how much the scam team the Cronulla Sharks are. Oh my gosh. The more I think about them, the more I think of scam. The more I think, bullshit, man. Unbelievable. How can you be in 9th position? Oh my gosh, I don't tell you when I get angry at the Shark. Anyway, we're going to go with the Sharks there. But the Warriors, on the other hand, obviously they are in the top 4 right now. But if they lose this game today, there is going to be a few teams starting to knock on the door. The Warriors, for a long time, have looked like they've been bolters for the top 4. Last week, obviously, they lost to the Penrith Panthers in a game that you just never would have expected them to lose. You know, the Panthers had 5 players out. They had Nathan Cleary out, Dylan Edwards, Brian To'o, Liam Martin, and Isaiah Yeo. All 5 of those guys were out. The Warriors pretty much had a full-strength team minus Kurt Catewell, and they were playing at home, and they lost to the Penrith Panthers. So that's why they're on fraud alert right now, because there is a siren going off. There is a siren going off in New Zealand saying, well, they haven't been able to win games by massive margins so far this season. Their points differential is really damn well low considering where they are. And yes, they did win against the Sharks in a very, very big game there. But the Cronulla Sharks, I tell you, that team, you can't use them as a marker right now because they are just absolutely, it's just dribble. It really is. It's dribble. So, you know, the Warriors, that was a fantastic win there in Cronulla, which was the team that is the highest that they've beaten so far this season, because they've played the Raiders twice, they've lost to them. They haven't played the Dogs, and they've played the Storm once, and they got beaten quite heavily by the Storm. So, you know, the Warriors, they really need to start proving themselves. And I do think that, considering the momentum that the Broncos look like they might be going on right now, this is a really big game for the Warriors to put themselves back onto the right track. So let's get into the 2-team lives here, guys, and then we'll get into the chat and see what you guys are saying. Obviously, hit that like button, subscribe if you are new around here, and let's rock and roll. So the Broncos, they come into this game from 6th position. This is pre-round. Broncos come into this game from 6th position, and the Warriors come into this game from 4th position, and this is at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Now, for the Broncos, there is no ins, there is no outs, there is no shake it all about. So Reece Walsh is the fullback, with the wingers being Josiah Katapani and Jesse Arthurs, centers of Katoni Staggs and Gehamat Shibasaki. You go to the 5'8", which is Ezra Mann, with halfback being Adam Reynolds, who is the captain. The front row forwards are Corey Jensen and Payne Haas, with the number 9 being Corey Pakes. The back row is Brendan Piakura and Jordan Ricky, and Patrick Carrigan is the lock. Interchange, Billy Walters, Cubby Hetherington, Xavier Willison, and Jack Kasevsky, with the 18th minute replacement being Tyson Smoothie and Michael Maguire as the coach. This is a big game for Reece Walsh, and I just hate that I have to say this because of what we were having to rip into people last week about. Because if it wasn't for the Kalyn Ponga injury, Kalyn Ponga would be the Origin fullback. But now it looks like Kalyn Ponga is probably going to be out of Origin 3. So that just gives so much more fuel and ammunition to the people last week who were saying, oh, Reece Walsh needs to be fullback. Reece Walsh needs to play for Queensland. It wasn't happening if Kalyn Ponga was fit and healthy. But now this is his game to really go up and explode against his old team in the Warriors and prove why he needs to be the guy, because they can technically move Hamiso back there, but you don't want to change too much of your team around. And ultimately, if you could just do a switch of Kalyn Ponga for Reece Walsh, then you're probably going to do that rather than, you know, taking Hamiso out of the centres and then putting somebody else in the centres. And you know, that's just kind of how that all rocks and rolls. So, look, I don't know. I think this Broncos team definitely has the capacity and ability to win this game. They have the momentum from the last couple of weeks, and, you know, let's see how they crack on with with the team that they've got. Now, for the Warriors, on the other hand, there's a lot of ins and outs shaking all about. So you've got Edward Cosey, Kurt Catewell, Rocco Berry, and Tanner Boyd coming in, with the outs being Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, Milo Graham-Talfa, Samuel Healy, and Tanner Stowers-Smith. The fullback is Charles Nichol-Klukstad, with Edward Cosey and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck on the wings. Centers of Adam Pompey and Rocco Berry. The Rocco Berry fan club is back. Channel Harris-Tavita is the 5'8", with the halfback being Luke Metcalf. Front row is James Fisher-Harris, who is the captain, and Marata Niakore, with the number 9 being Wade Egan. Back row is Kurt Catewell and Jacob Laban, with the 13 being Aaron Clark. Get around my boy, yes. Get around him. The interchange is Tamati Martin, Jackson Ford, Dimitri Vaimalga, and Aleka Halasima, with the 18th minute replacement being my boy, Tanner Boyd, getting around him, and then Andrew Webster as the coach. Like I said, this Warriors team just needs to come and do a job today. They just need to come and do a job today. I honestly don't know who would be the favourites. Obviously, I'm in Thailand, so I don't know what the betting odds are for this game. I'd probably say I would actually maybe lean with the fact that Broncos might be favourites here. I might lean with the fact that Broncos will be favourites, and I don't know how to read the Warriors right now. And you guys, if you've been watching my streams all season, you know that I've been very up and down about where I believe the Warriors are at. You know, like, yes, they have well and truly deserved and earned their top 4 spot, but last week really it gives you a lot of concerns. There is a lot of concerns based off of last week that they just weren't able to get up there at home against the Panthers team that, yeah, sure has momentum, but they had 5 players out with Origin, and then they got done over pretty convincingly in the end as well. You know, and I've always said the Warriors points differential tells a story in itself when you've got the top 4 having the Raiders of plus 104, the Bulldogs of plus 96, the Storm of plus 172, and then you've got the Warriors in 25. You're just like, well, you know, considering you're a top 4 team, you would like that to be a little bit more up. But at the end of the day, the 2 points is all that matters. However, the points differential, like I said, does tell you a good old story there. So I really don't know who to tip today. I think this is a really difficult game to predict. I think this is a really. I probably would have said this would be game of the round, but Bulldogs and Panthers was definitely good game of the round. If something can beat that, then I take my hat off to you because that was incredible. But who do I tip? Because I'm going to get into the ladder here quickly. Look, I think based off of, I don't know, the Broncos have played a really, really dribble Sharks team recently, scammers in the Sharks, and they played the Titans, who are 17th. They're not scammers. They're just we are just dreadful at the moment. Dude, you know what? I'm going to leave with the Wars. I think the momentum with the Broncos is strong, but I don't know who's proven themselves more, man. I don't know who's proven themselves more yet. Because the Broncos, if they win this game, then sure, they're back. If the Broncos win this game, then sure, they are back. But I just don't know. Like, they've taken on 2 extremely vulnerable teams. And although the Warriors don't convince me after last week, I will lean with the higher placed team on the table in a really close one here. But honestly, it is 50-50 as 50-50 gets realistically, because you can give pros and cons to both teams here. You can probably give a bit more cons at the moment, but you can give pros and cons to both teams. Now, just quickly getting into the ladder here before we do get into the chat. So I am taking the Wars 1 of 12, but honestly, it's 50-50. I'll go 51-49 to the to the Wars. Now, the Warriors, they're in 4th position. They are equal with the Storm on 24 points. Now, the Storm do play the Sharks tomorrow, which will be a belter of a game, hopefully. No, I'm not even going to say that because the Sharks disappoint me greatly. But the Warriors, they're on plus 25, whilst the Storm are plus 172 with the best points differential in the game. If they win this game, they would, for the time being, go into 3rd position. The Bulldogs are on 28 and the Raiders are on 28, so that's 4 points above them, so they can't get there. And also those points differentials are way more superior than them anyway. But if the Warriors win, they go into 3rd position, and then it just comes down to if the Storm win against the Sharks tomorrow at Amy Park to see kind of if they're 3rd or 4th position, right? Now, if they lose this game, however, they won't drop out of the top 4. They will stay in the top 4. However, the Broncos would then be only 4 points behind them. The Roosters would only be 4 points behind them, considering they've had the bye. The Panthers on 19 points get a bye next week, because obviously it's Origin round next week where you see a lot of byes. So it will leave them very vulnerable and susceptible. Now, the benefit here is that the Roosters are on only plus 16, right? So they're still worse off than the Warriors, and they're just behind them there. The Broncos would be close because they've got a plus 50, and if they won, that'd obviously that'd benefit greatly. Manly, obviously, they're on plus 40. They're not too far behind. So it would just leave the Warriors in a really susceptible position to be falling out of the top 4. And considering the season so far, it'd be so disappointing to see them drop out of the top 4, because it has been a really enjoyable season to watch the New Zealand Warriors. It really has been. It has been an enjoyable season. So yeah, if you lose this game, Warriors, you'll be in 4th position. If you win this game, you'll be in 3rd until the Storm play tomorrow, and then we see how their game goes against the Sharks. The Sharks did beat the Storm earlier on this season, about 5 weeks ago. So the Sharks can get a win, but it is at Amy Park, so good luck with that. On the other end, the Broncos, they're in 7th position on 18 points, which is equal with Manly Seagulls and the Scammers Cronulla Sharks. Broncos have a plus 50, the Manly Seagulls have a plus 40, and the Sharks have a plus 20. If the Broncos win this game, they would jump above the Panthers on that 19 points. They would go equal with the Roosters, and they would go above the Roosters into 5th position as well, because the Roosters have a plus 16 and the Broncos have a plus 50. So if you win this game, you will finish off this weekend in 5th, and that'll be really, well, it's not guaranteed. Like, if you won this game by 1 and the Sharks won by 32 or whatever, then sure, the Sharks would go into 5th as well. But the Sharks aren't beating the Storm down there at Amy Park by 32 odd points. Like, this will be probably a close game. But the Broncos will finish in 5th with a win. If they lose this game, however, if they lost by 10 points or more, then Manly would go above them this week. The Sharks, obviously, again, play the Storm tomorrow. But if the Broncos lost by 30 points or more, they would go below the Sharks today, before even tomorrow happened. And then the Dolphins, they've got a plus 140. They're on 16 points. They play the Rabbitohs today later on. We'll be live streaming that one. If the Dolphins win that game, they will go above the Broncos. So you'd be sitting in probably about 9th position at this point. Well, you can drop into, you drop into 9th position, and then the Dragons play the Eels. They're going to minus 59 though, so don't worry about their points differential. So ultimately, you'll probably finish off this weekend in 9th. You probably won't. Sorry, you'll probably finish off this weekend in 8th with a. Yeah, you'll probably finish off this weekend in 8th. But then again, if the Dolphins don't beat the Rabbitohs, then you'll finish off in 7th. But there you go, guys. That is the little analysis here before the game starts. The Broncos are out in the field, so are the Warriors. Obviously, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. We are smashing out all the damn well games. We might have missed yesterday's last night's game, which was the Knights and Raiders. But honestly, I'm not too upset about it. And we are probably going to miss out on the Eels Dragons, which I'm not necessarily too upset about. But I am here for both games tomorrow, and also the Dolphins and the Rabbitohs later on. But all right, let's get to the chat. The game is about to kick off. Give me your predictions. Give me the predictions. Give me the predictions. They kick it off here to the Warriors, and the Warriors will bring this ball out here to the 15. All right, let's move this chat down here, and then we're going to click on live. Okay, why are we getting spammed here? What's happening here? What's happening here? I also hate these new things. I'm just going to refresh this score before Jay has a meltdown. Before Jay has a meltdown. See, no meltdown here, Jay. The score is refreshed. So Warriors here on 3rd tackle. Oh, did he just lose that ball? Oh, no. Marata Niokore has lost the ball, has he? Oh, my goodness me. Oh, my goodness me. Warriors have started off not with a bang. Not with a bang. Mitchell Elliott with the $1 donation. Appreciate you, Mitchell. That was an awful drop ball there from the Warriors. The Broncos are going to get an attack early days here, 15 minutes away from the line. Mitchell Elliott, thank you for the $1 donation, brother. And then Olivia Reed with the $8 donation says, reporting live from Suncorp Stadium. Olivia's stopped doing the another day, another dono. Deary me, she's forgotten all about it. She's forgotten all about the another day, another dono. She's telling us live from Suncorp Stadium. Well, give us a wave from the crowd. Give us a wave. Reece Walsh now. He'll get away from one tackle, and he's going to be 10 metres out here from the line. But thank you very much for the donation, Olivia. First tackle now for the Broncos. They are 8 metres away. I can't believe first set, and the Warriors are going to knock that ball on. That is not a good way to refresh yourselves after last week's disappointment. Now 6 again here for the Broncos. So first tackle, 8 metres away here from the line. They roll it back. Out to Adam Reynolds. Reynolds fakes it off, and that was just dreadful. Second tackle here, 7 metres away. Corey Pakes looking to go out to the right-hand side. He gives it out to Corey Jensen. Jeez, I don't know why my eyes, they're not working today. It's very maybe my screen needs to be brighter. Out to the left, they give it to Adam Reynolds. Reynolds now to Brendan Piakura, and Piakura is 5 metres away. Warriors' defence has been their staple this year, not attack. Their defence has been their staple. So it's not like this is going to be an easy one, even the Bronx. They're 4 metres out here from the line. 2 minutes into the game. Fit tackle. Pakes gives it to Adam Reynolds. Reynolds here kicks it through, and that is just going to be an easy try for the Broncos, man. That is an easy try for the Broncos. Katoni Staggs will go over, and it is 4-0. That was very, very easy, dude. That was very, very easy. Wow. And that's what happens. Murata Niokore knocks the ball on off the first set of the game, 2 tackles down, and then the Broncos get a complete fresh set of 6. They get another 6 again, and then this is just a really easy kick. I don't know what the fullback's doing. Why is Chance Neil-Klukstad so far away from the ball in that situation? I really couldn't tell you. But it's a nice kick there from Adam Reynolds that bounces up perfectly there for Tony Staggs, and they're up 4-0 with the kick to come. New Zealand guy says a battle of the fraudsters. Well, the Broncos kind of put themselves off of fraudsters last week with that win against the Sharks, but yeah, look, this would really kind of confirm it for them. They'd be a bit more back for sure. Jack Kirkland says 50-50 game, you reckon, Blaze? Absolutely. Yeah, definitely 50-50 for mine. Benjamin Cox said, well, based off of this start, you went and want to leave with the Bronx because that was just horrific to knock that ball on just then. Benjamin Cox says, go the Bronx, fingers crossed. Jack Lewis has got Broncos Dragons double today, but not overly confident, but hopefully. Dragons Eels is a tough game to read. That is a really tough game. Actually, I think all 3 games here today are very, very tough. This one is 50-50 as 50-50 gets pre-game. The Dragons and Eels, I don't know what those 2 teams are, and then the Dolphins and the Rabbitohs. You'd assume the Dolphins win, but they lost to the Knights last week in a very disappointing one. And the Rabbitohs, they've got one of the worst attacks in the competition right now. I think it's the 2nd worst attack in the comp. So, they don't know how to score, and the Dolphins definitely do know how to score. Couldn't really do it last week, but I think all 3 games today are very topsy-turvy. You just don't know. 6-0. Adam Reynolds will get the kick. Benjamin says Walsh is only on one leg at the moment, though. I agree. I had to say this basically last week. But none of these Broncos fans wanted to listen, and we had a lot of Papua New Guineans telling me that Reece Walsh must be playing Origin. He must play Origin. He wouldn't have played Origin if Callum wasn't injured. Lagan Ballsack says, I feel like most people pick the safer option of the Warriors because of ladder placement. I picked Broncos for a ladder flip in my tipping comp. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know if there's a safe option here, though. But you're right. That's kind of how I did my preview. I did lean with the Waz on a 50-50 slide based off of the ladder position, but it's really difficult to get a read. But based off the start here, it's looking like the Broncos have continued the momentum. So 6-0 here, Broncos, and they're going to be taken down here at the 11 first tackle. Okay, I'm going to skip a few comments now. Mitchell Elliott says, Sharks lose tomorrow. Are we getting ×2 scams on them? Man, I don't know how I can fit more scams on the Sharks at this point. I don't know how I can fit more scams, but I want to do it. You'd have to ask me twice. You don't have to ask me twice, mate. But no, losing to the Storm doesn't really enhance or emphasise anything because they are a good team. Out of the right-hand side, Paddy Carrigan now at the 40 on 4 tackle, 5 minutes into the game. Benjamin says, who is getting the first time out? The Muppet who was spamming a billion times. That would be the one. In Stilu says, Dragons versus Eels, Dolphins versus Rabbitohs. Yep, that is the games later on today. All right, so the Warriors, Chance Neil-Klukstad grabs his ball at the 1, and he's going to bring it out here to the 5, out of the 10. And now back to the 5. Geez, Broncos are on here. They are on. Jared Ford says, we're just getting my firewood in. Any late changes? And that's going to be a penalty to the Warriors. That is a penalty to the Warriors. That'll get them out of trouble. That'll help them big time. For the Broncos, nothing changed. And for the Warriors, it's just basically Dylan Martinez-Lesniak who's out, but they get a few big ins with Kate Well and Rockaberry and Edward Kosey. But a penalty there for the Warriors. Instantly says, BK, who do you think is going to win, Dolphins or Rabbitohs? I'm going to say the Dolphins, just based on the fact the Rabbitohs' attack is dreadful, and they've got a lot of injuries, man. Their season has been just decimated by injuries. I predicted them for 7th position this year. I was going a little bit generous because I believe in Wayne Bennett, but I don't think that, Mahatma Gandhi could get the positivity going for the South Sydney Rabbitohs at the moment. Like, Mahatma Gandhi couldn't do it himself. There's that many injuries for the Rabbitohs across the season. Obviously, no Cameron Murray. There's guys out left, right, and centre. I think they've had nearly 200 games this year so far. 200. Oh, that's 6 again here for the Warriors. They're at the 40 on first tackle. There's like 200 games across their starting lineup that has been missing, which is like 50 or 60 more than the next worst team for injuries. So I'll take the Dolphins, but they're also a little bit of concern right now. Second tackle here, 28 metres away here from the line. But I did say a couple of weeks ago that the Dolphins' form would run out, and it's just about how we see them bounce back from that. So today's a perfect day to see them bounce back from it because the Rabbitohs should be pieced apart, realistically. They should be. So third tackle now for the Warriors. They're 20 metres away. And Harris Tavita off to Fisher Harris. And Fisher Harris is 12 metres out. You want to see Luke Metcalf continue to have good games, man. He was top of the Dally M leaderboard before it went behind closed doors. Metcalf out to the right-hand side. Warriors here at the 5. Taken down. Fit tackle. And they give it out to Luke Metcalf. He puts that ball into a pretty good area, actually. Really good area. Good kick. That's going to be a drop ball there for the Broncos. Left-hand side, the Warriors could score here. Oh, no, the ball's all over the side. They're not going to be able to score. But the Warriors will get a fresh set of 6, and they're 10 metres out. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, he cuts all the way across. And he's lost the ball, but it goes backwards. It's fine. This is still the same play as that knock-on, so they would come back if there was a mistake. Oh, my gosh, there's no way. Yeah, they're going to come back for the original knock-on for the Broncos, yeah. There's no advantage gained there, so it'll be Warriors 6 again from the 10. Ibrahim says, anyone but Reece Walsh for Origin? Anyone saying you should play fullback as a New South Wales fan or a paid actor? No, I think that obviously he's a very big hype player, so you get, and this isn't disrespecting anyone's opinions who genuinely believe Reece Walsh should be there, but ultimately I think he's a hype player, so a lot of casual watchers will be like, okay, based off of the entertainment factor, I think that Reece Walsh is why they lean with him. Warriors, right hand side, 10 metres. Yeah, they're going to score. They're going to score. Oh my gosh, that was awful for the Warriors. I'm sorry, but that's just not cool. That's not acceptable, Warriors. You can't be doing that on first tackle, just spreading it to the wing and getting taken over the side. And Edward Kosi didn't even look like he wanted to put that ball down. Edward Kosi did not even look like he wanted to put that ball down. Like, sure, it's good defense here for the Broncos, but like if you're doing this on first tackle, you better damn well know that you're either going to stay in bounds or you're going to score the try. And for me, that's just crazy that they've done that on first tackle. So Broncos will get the ball here at the 10. Josiah Katapani with the tackle, and he's just re-signed until 2027, so he'd be happy. But yeah, I think that Reece Walsh is an extreme hype player, so you'll get a lot of casual viewers, you'll get a lot of obviously the Broncos fans just back. Actually, a lot of Broncos fans are even saying maybe not as well, but there's also not many options now if Callum Ponga is injured. Oh my gosh, Grass McGrath is in play here today. So the Broncos will get taken down at the 23 on third tackle. Logan Paul says, would be a very sad day if we have to take the scam off the Sharks when they go out of the top 10. Well, we don't take the scam off the Sharks. The scam stays with them. It's a knock-on there from the Broncos. Damn, Grass McGrath is in play a lot here in this first 9 minutes. And Reece Walsh with the knock-on. That's why it wouldn't be Origin. That's why. Usfi says, up the doggies. Yeah, not a great... Well, I'm not going to say not a great game actually on Thursday because I did think that they were fine. It's just the Panthers were better. Man. That's how the cookie crumbles. And I'm hungry. I could deal with a cookie right now. And the cookie crumbled on Thursday. And the Dogs didn't get the win, but it was very close. And they gave it a good go. But obviously, the only team that it's good to see the Dogs get back into the top 8, though. You know, the Dogs were in 17th place, but they've just jumped straight to second. So massive rise in form there, based off of this ladder. So Warriors now 33 metres out. It's unfortunate the Raiders have had a massive drop-off. 10 minutes gone here, guys. 30 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. Second tackle now at the 25 for the Warriors. Getting plenty of opportunities. Get around your Nick Hill. Benjamin says, I wish Billy would put the hammer at fullback. Who are you putting in centre then? So if you put Hammer at fullback, who are you pushing in? Oh, no, sorry. Hammer's on the wing, isn't he? Oh, maybe you put, Hamiso to the fullback and then Murray Talangi onto the wing or something like that. But is Talangi fully fit and healthy? Aaron Clark out to Fisher Harris, and he's going to be 10 metres away here from the line. 4 tackle for the Warriors. You've got plenty of opportunities in the moment. Wade Egan, left-hand side. Harris to Vita, goes in himself. He'll be 3 metres out. Fit tackle. Broncos defense on the line this year has been quite solid for the most part, even in their poor times. On the line, they're pretty good with it. That's a good kick and a good area, but it's going to be grabbed there by Josiah Katapani, who's had a fantastic start here. If you actually go and have a look at the defense of both these teams, so the Warriors this year, they have played 14 games, same as the Broncos. The Warriors have given up 284 points, whilst the Broncos have given up 322 points. So not crazy separating, about 40 points difference. But the Broncos defense isn't as bad as you'd probably think considering their season. And then their attack, the Broncos at 372, the Warriors at 309. So that's a big separator there, about 70 points differential. And that is going to be a penalty to the Broncos, 15 metres out. As a penalty to the Broncos. So that's a pretty big separator. So the Warriors, attacking-wise, they are worse off than the Raiders, the Dogs, the Storm by a lot, the Roosters, the Panthers, the Broncos, the Manly, the Sharks. Damn, they are... Yeah, wow. Okay, so they're probably about 11th for attack this year, the Warriors. Because they've got a better attack than the Titans, Rabbitohs, Eels, Tigers, Knights, Cowboys, and Dragons. But everyone else in that top 10 it has a better attack than them. whilst the Broncos at 372, they're probably around the 5-6 range for attack this year, and they've had a pretty rough one. So this is why I say points differential does matter. A lot of people say it doesn't matter. Points differential absolutely tells you a great story about where teams are at, and that's why it's always been a concern with the Warriors that they aren't winning games by big margins in games outside of that Sharks one, right? Usually they win really close. So third tackle, they go to Adam Reynolds. And Reynolds short ball to Jordan Ricky, who's 35 metres out, fourth tackle. Olivia says that's why Reece shouldn't play Origin. Again, unless they're moving Hamiso, it's kind of the only option. And he has played Origin before. And we all know Queensland do like to, stick with experienced players who have played. And I don't think Hamiso's played fullback for Origin before. That's a knock on Bronx. That is a knock on Bronx. So Warriors ball at the 10. Warriors ball at the 10. This says, Reece Walsh is the greatest fullback that has ever lived, and if you say otherwise, you are clearly a Penrith fan. Okay, well, I'm definitely not a Penrith fan, but I can also guarantee you that he's lucky to be in the top 5 this year for fullbacks, let alone all time. If you don't think Reece Walsh is the greatest player that's ever lived, okay, so no, I do not, and I am absolutely not a Penrith fan. I am a Papua New Guinea fan. Big Papua New Guinea fan. Massive Commonwealth fan. All right, so Aaron Clark is going to be fourth tackle here at the 40. Big Christchurch fan. Massive Christchurch fan, mate. Jack Lewis says, when I first started betting on the Warriors get this ball to the halfway point on fifth tackle, when I first started betting on the NRL a few years back, Warriors could not win away games. They have closed the gap really well in recent years. Every tip I used to read was home win versus the Warriors. Warriors at home aren't as guaranteed as you would think. A lot of people believe this, but if you look at their form over the years, they're not actually as much guaranteed at home. It's a penalty to the Broncos at the 20. A lot of penalties and a lot of mistakes here early doors. Yeah, the last few years, you would not include last year, though. Last year was a pretty rough one for them. Last year was a pretty rough one for them across the board, actually. Obviously, Warriors fans don't need me to remind them how my team performed against them, and my team was also awful last year, just like pretty much every single year. Benjamin says, looks up. I love Walsh, but he's definitely not worthy of that spot at the moment. Yeah, but again, you have to either put him there or Hamiso out of the fullback and then chuck somebody else onto the wing, and then you're changing a few positions there. But I wouldn't necessarily say no to Hamiso at the fullback, but Reece has played Origin before, and Kalen Ponga is probably going to be injured. So, it leaves Billy with a 50-50 choice there, really. So third tackle now for the Broncos. They're 22 metres out. They go right-hand side. Corey Pakes to Reece Walsh, and then underneath to Ricky, and it'll be 15 metres out here for the Broncos. Fourth tackle to Payne Haas. No, that's not Payne Haas. That's Corey Jensen, and Corey Jensen's 5 metres away from the line. Fifth tackle, 15 minutes in. 15 minutes in, Adam Reynolds out to Ezra Mam. He floats that ball over the top, and that is an easy try there for the Broncos. They're up 10-0 here with a kick to come. Well, Warriors, you are starting to show some really big worrying signs. You are starting to show some massive worrying signs because the Warriors have had plenty of attack in this game. Like, they have been up the other end a million times. Now we've got that wanky little dancer in Brisbane. But we've seen the Warriors on the line, attack, and the Broncos have held their line pretty well. And the Broncos just got up the other end of the field and score straight away. So now it's 10-0 here with the kick to come. Jack Lewis says, Payne Haas is my favourite forward in rugby league. I think he's unbelievable. Well, Payne Haas is the best front rower in the game. Sure, you have Tino. Sure, you have James Fisher-Harris. Sure, you have Adam Fanor-Blake. But, Payne Haas is just consistently the best front rower in the game. And despite the fact that you can probably interchange between 2 to 4 of Tino, Fisher-Harris, and Tino's not even playing front row forward this year. He's playing 13 for the most part. But then again, Tino plays Origin at the front row. You can interchange 2, 3, 4 of Tino, Adam Fanor-Blake, and Fisher-Harris. But Payne Haas is consistently going to be number 1 for the front rowers. Why is this? What's happening here? Josie, you don't have to spam the comments, right? you don't need to do that. Alti says, I think Payne Haas will go down as one of the best front rowers to ever play the game by the time he's done. I agree. I think that he's still got to really prove a lot on state and international level, but at the domestic level, yeah, I agree, for sure. But, that's the thing. You can even argue, Adam Reynolds will miss the kick, hits the post, and misses it. So it stays 10-0 here to the Broncos with 24 minutes to go in the first half. It's the same thing with Cleary, though. Cleary's absolutely dominated the living shit out of the NRL. But when it's come to Origin, hasn't really proven it. And, yeah, okay, he won with Australia, but Australia should win if you're playing. Australia should win if you're playing. So, you know, there's a lot of players that can absolutely crush it on this level, and then when they get to this level, it's like they're solid, they're fine, they're okay, but they don't really kind of guarantee themselves, and that's what I think Payne Haas hasn't done at a state level yet or international level, and the same thing goes with Cleary. Ibrahim says, I think Munster is the best Origin Queensland player right now, in my opinion. Were you saying that before Origin Game 2? Because a lot of people weren't. A lot of people weren't. He's been off form for a few years now, but Origin Game 2 was fantastic from him. Jack Lewis says, Kangaroos won't beat England this year. We are playing. England? You cats over there in England. What are you talking about? Second tackle now with the Broncos at the 25. When was the last time that England even beat Australia? In any form. What? England? England? What are you talking about? Oh, that's a knock on for the Broncos, and the Warriors will get the ball here at the 25. Okay, 0 tackle here for the New Zealand Warriors. They've been down here many times already, but the Broncos have held strong. You need to capitalise here, and that's going to be Warriors now, 20 metres out, first tackle. Bloody England. Deary me. Deary me. Aaron Clark at the back now to Channel Harris to Vita. Short ball, Kurt Catewell. He's 10 metres away, second tackle. They roll it back now to Wade Egan. Wade Egan off to Fisher Harris, then to Aaron Clark. This is very pedestrian speed. Very pedestrian speed. 10 metres out, third tackle. You need to get a little bit more speed into this attack here, Warriors. Wade Egan gets it to Metcalf. Metcalf at the... Oh, and they've knocked it on. Oh, lads. Oh, Warriors, come on, man. So a knock on there from the Warriors, and it's going to be 0 tackle. No, they're just going to have to bring it out to the 10. Benjamin says, can I ask what your opinion is on why you think the Titans are struggling? I'm a Bronx fan, but would love to see the Gold Coast boys right up there. Yeah, I'd love to see the Gold Coast boys right up there. I speak well and truly enough about the Titans during the Titans streams, man. Obviously, I'm a Titans fan, so we'll talk about it tomorrow when the Titans take on the Cowboys. And yeah, there's a lot of issues there, man, and it definitely comes from the top. It definitely comes from the top. People always love to just immediately blame coaches because it's an easy scapegoat. But if you look at the history of the Gold Coast, you know, John Cartwright, Neil Henry, Justin Holbrook, Garth Brennan, Des Hasler, all of the coaches have kind of gotten... Well, John Cartwright got him to a prelim, but ultimately that was at a very different stage of the Titans back in the day. But all the results stay the same regardless. So there's definitely a lot more than just the coaches at play here for Gold Coast, unfortunately. Third tackle now for the 30. But this happens at every club. Every time a team struggles, it's always the coach's fault. I genuinely believe Adam O'Brien is the problem at the Newcastle Knights. But with that being said, they'll probably re-sign for 30 more years. So it's going to be the Broncos now at the halfway point on fifth tackle. And Corey Pakes, it gives it out to Adam Reynolds. And Reynolds will dink this one down to... Wow, got it away from Chance. That's a really nice kick there from Reno. And Chance will at least get out of the end goal. Satish says, hey, Blaze, any plans on covering the cricket anytime soon? I'll be covering the Ashes later on this year. The Australia versus England in the Ashes in Australia. But as you know, I am travelling around, so it's very difficult for me to find time to have a life and do other sports. I could do every rugby league game, but it's very difficult to kind of have that mixture. So yeah, we'll do it at some stage, but just not in the not in the immediate future. So there's an injury here to Edward Corsi. I think he's going to come off for a HIA. He'll have to come off for a HIA here. God bless him. But 20 minutes in here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. 20 minutes in. Jack Lewis says, the Broncos can't win this game if they keep knocking the ball on. That's 3 times so far. Soon they'll be punished. The issue is, though, the Warriors' attack is just simply not good enough. Like, the Warriors are also making mistakes themselves. And again, they've only scored 309 points, the Warriors. The Raiders have scored 434 points. The Bulldogs scored 336 points, and they've got issues with their attack. The Storm have scored 429 points. That is 120 more points than the Warriors. You know, the Roosters, who have had a really struggle season, they've scored 30-odd more points than the Warriors, and that's pre-game. They've both got the same amount of games played in 14. The Warriors' biggest issue is their attack. So I don't necessarily agree that they will punish the Broncos with all these mistakes because the Warriors just, for some reason, it's just not really been working out from this year attacking-wise. So out of the left-hand side, and Bronx will be second tackle here at the 42. But again, the Broncos are also up 10-0, so I don't think they're too concerned just yet. And their line defense, or like in the defensive 20, has been pretty good for the most part all year, especially in the first 20 minutes of games. All right, so the Broncos, we crunched down at the floor at the 50 on 4 tackle. Crunched down at the 50, 4 tackle. Now, Paddy Carrigan, he'll get this ball to the 40, and it'll be 5th tackle. Ibrahim says, how many buys are the Broncos going to have this year? What? How many buys are the Broncos going to have this year? What? They have 3 buys, man, like every other team. What do you think? They just give different buys? Hey, listen, if the Titans can get 27 buys this year, that'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. I like that. I like that. Jay says, you're doing the other 2 games today. I am doing the Dolphins-Rabbitohs game. Haven't put the stream up just yet. Obviously, my friend was fighting last night. He got a knockout in the first round. If you guys watched on Instagram, my friend got a knockout in the first round with his professional debut. So that was pretty awesome to watch. Kicked the living shit out of him. He kicked the living shit out of him. You can see on my Instagram. You can see. Actually, I'll quickly put the link up on my in the pinned comment. But yeah, mate, it was awesome. So we had a big night. We had a big night, mate. Big night. So the Broncos now are going to bring this ball out into the 35 through Josiah Katapani on first tackle. Hope he won a free feed. Yeah, no, he definitely won a lot, that's for sure. So that's going to be first tackle. Second tackle for the Broncos at the 48. Hold on. Let me just put this here. So if anyone wants to... Because I actually got the knockout on the camera too. Broncos at the 40, third tackle, at the back again, Reece Walsh over the top, and I think that's going to be a knock on by the Warriors. It will be. Hold on, there we go. Do that, and then I'll pin this comment. Oh, how do I pin this? Oh, it's not the same. No circle jerking chat, please. Oh no, what's he said? So yeah, knock on Warriors, and the Broncos will have the ball here at the 40. Kiraz is... What's with all this best player in the world stuff that's happening today? Kiraz is the best player I've ever seen in my life. You're full of shit. But, like, what's happening here? Why is everyone the best player that's ever existed today? Every single player that gets mentioned in the chat today has just been... We're apparently hearing that they're the best player that's ever existed. Alright, so 17 minutes to go here the first half. They've got the scrum here for the Bronx. Well, Broncos are in some good form. I think they have... That's going to be a penalty to the Broncos. Warriors did not pat the scrum. I want to see their upcoming games, actually. Bulldogs on top, Cuz, Dog, because they're so cool. Okay, you're weird. So the Broncos play the Dogs actually next week. It's a big game. And then they play the Titans again. God help me. Back end stretch isn't too difficult. Their back end stretch... Oh, they do play the Storm twice, actually, the Bronx. Wow. And they do not have a good record against the Melbourne Storm. Olivia says the Bulldogs aren't playing today. Yeah, no, they definitely aren't. They play on Thursday and they lost. And they lost. So I don't know what's happening here. Fisher Harris has come on the field. Has he got a H? No, is it an interchange? I don't understand what's happening as we currently speak. And also, why are we still waiting? Do they not have enough players in the scrum or something? They must be going with the 2. Okay, we're going to time you out, Bulldogs King. Your mum, but just like move on, bro. Just enjoy the game. Just enjoy the game, mate. No one gives a shit about the Dogs right now. You played on Thursday, and we'll see you next week. All right? So I think the Broncos are taking the 2 from in front. They are. So Adam Reynolds here, taking the 2. And he will put it on through. So it is 12-0 here to the Broncos with 15 minutes to go the first half. It's not out of this world here, Warriors, but if the Broncos score next, then you'd probably start to think that maybe this isn't your day again. But it is still only 2 converted tries, a difference. Oh, you are taking the 2, yeah. Well, it's the right decision. Ian and Nate J, they're fired up behind that 2. Ian and Nate J fired up behind that 2. Oh yeah, big UFC fight tomorrow. Massive UFC fight tomorrow. I'm so glad that today is not too hot. Otherwise, I was sweating yesterday here, man. I was dying for that game, and to add on to it, it was the Tigers versus Manly, and that it was just it was a triple game. Especially considering Thursday night we had an incredible one between the Bulldogs and Panthers. It was so much fun, and then you go from the best game to the worst game yesterday. But the Raiders now top of the table. That's good to see. Olivia says Bulldogs aren't even on the ladder. No, they are. No, Olivia, they are. No, the Raiders are the ones who fell off. Yeah, the Raiders fell off big time. You know, obviously they were second position. They just dropped out and switched with the Bulldogs. Must have had like a trade-off. 17th for second. Block been doing the rounds in his Take the 2 campaign. Get around the 2. We all love the 2. We all love the 2. Big fan of the old penalty 2. All right, so Broncos third tackle. They'll get this ball to the 30. 14 minutes to go the first half. Sorry, I'm blind. Well, you are a Broncos fan, Olivia, so we do understand that. We do understand that. Fourth tackle now at the 38 or so. And Corey Pakes will go right to Reynolds, and he's going to go for a 40-20 here. That's a good kick. That's a great... Oh, no, it's not going to have the... He's got the distance, but it's just not going to have the angle on it. And Tuivasa-Sheck, he'll bring it back here to the 15. Vaimalga comes on now for Niokore. Broncos do look like they are all over the Warriors here. And again, it's not like the Warriors have been short for having attacking opportunities. It's just it hasn't panned out for them. Again. All right, so there'll be Cheryl Harris to read. Jeez, I'm all over the shop. Charles Neil Klukstad to the 22. It's just they can't get out of their own end right now. And now they'll get this ball to the 30 and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. I don't know why Vosh just said that the story of their afternoon has been that they can't get out of their end. They have been in the attacking 20 for the Broncos plenty of times. But it's either a knock-on or they throw the ball bloody over the side, or they go over the sideline on first tackle. All right, Metcalf kicks that one down into the corner. I don't know if Metcalf would be leading the Dally M leaderboard as we currently speak, but I can't remember who was in like second and whatnot beforehand. I'm going to quickly have a look at what Dally M leaderboard 2025. I want to see, because that went behind closed doors on May 26th. So Tedesco was actually really close. Oh, Tedesco's always really close, to be fair. Always super close. So Xavier Willison comes on now for Corey Jensen, and Broncos will be fourth tackle, and they'll be at the 50. Okay, here we go. Dally M leaderboard. Oh, Will Kennedy's still super close behind too, but Will Kennedy's not going to be... He's going to drop off like an absolute machine. He's going to drop off. Tedesco is a good shout at winning that Dally M this year. He's a really good shout. Payne Haas was super close as well, and he'll be giving it a red hot crack again. But this is an injury here for the Warriors, and no, it's a penalty. The Broncos. What? So there's a penalty. So the Warriors get it. Charleston Crookstad was injured on the ground, and they've actually penalised the Warriors here, obstructing the kick chase. Okay, yeah, sure. It's not on the... I don't know why they're showing that, but it's definitely Jackson Ford giving away the penalty there to the Broncos. Aloe Lakana says, come on, Warriors. Well, they're struggling at the moment, but plenty of time to go. Still 51.5 minutes left, but they are struggling at the moment. And the Broncos have another attack now in the attack in 20. Brendan Piakura, 10 metres out. The Broncos have had 4 penalties. Warriors have had 1. But it's not like this game's been unfair. It's Broncos just have been the better team so far. Paddy Carrigan off to Reece Walsh. I wonder if last week just took a real significant dump on their confidence. Surely that's what's happened to you. Because this is not the same Warriors team we've watched all year so far. Out to Ramam, 6 again now. 6 again for the Broncos. They are 10 metres away from the line. First tackle. Kay says, this game is just pissing me off so far. Like, what are the Warriors doing? They forget how to play after last week. Broncos aren't doing anything too special. The Warriors just suck right now. Well, the Broncos have made a few mistakes. So you're right. I think the Broncos have been definitely the better team and have looked more solid than bad. But they have made quite a few errors. But then again, the Roosters make billions of errors every single week and find ways to win. So third tackle of the Broncos at the 15. And the referee's going to stop the clock for something. HIA for a Bronco player here. No, it's for Wade Egan. Wade Egan's going to have to come off here for HIA. 10 minutes to go in the first half. 30 minutes gone. 10 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Unfortunately, the bumper bar's there whacking to Wade Egan's face, and He's going to come off at 15, so he won't be back until second half. But yeah, like I said, Casey, this Warriors team just hasn't looked the same. Like that Sharks game was just such a solid confidence-building win, and then to go from that to going to play at home against a 5 Origin player less Panthers team, and then to lose, it was just such a momentum killer, considering they had the massive momentum bonus from beating the damn well Sharks by so much. That's going to be a try here. There's going to be a try. Oh no, they're going to be held up. I think Shibasaki's been held up here. Yeah, wow. The Warriors will play that. Oh, so it's going to be 6 again here for the Broncos. We're going to take it back out of the 10. Benjamin says, Warriors fans might have a chance second half the way my team plays their second half. Well, the Broncos last week scored like 20-odd points in the second half. The Broncos last week killed the Sharks in the second half. The first half was the really poor one for the Broncos. Casey says, wheels have well and truly fallen off for the Wars. Well, it's not looking pretty right now, but let's not just jump to conclusions. It's just not looking too great as we currently speak. They just need to, they got to try and get a little bit of a roll on for the time being. It's a big struggle. So first tackle now, and Payne Haas is going to be second tackle, 8 metres out from the line. Oh yeah, no, Jay, they're going to try their hardest, but it's not going to happen. So second tackle, to Reece Walsh. Walsh knock on by the Broncos, and this has been what the Broncos have been doing all day. Like, they have made plenty of mistakes. Casey says, good thing I'm a Titans fan. Oh, yeah, no, fun times. Well, they're first place, mate, as you can see. Wow. 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 So, that will be a knock-on there from the Bronco. Knock-on. Knock-on there by the Broncos. Tackling opposition 20, 8 times for the Warriors, 18 times there for the Broncos. Robert Rudolph says, seen at all season from the Broncos can't grind and let teams back in. Oh, you say the Broncos can't grind and let teams back in. Yeah, I'll fix that a little bit for you. But yeah, look, I do agree. But last week, they were able to hold out. Like, I know that they were able to, beat as a penalty here to the Warriors. That's going to be massive. It'll put them back into a decent range. But again, they haven't done anything when they've been in range all day. It's hard to read the Broncos season because they were so poor for so long. And then, whilst they got a big win against the Titans, who are 17th, and then beat the Sharks, who are just the most vulnerable scammers that ever did scam, there's still a lot waiting to kind of be told about this team. We're still waiting. We still don't know. I want to see them go. Well, they've got to play the Storm twice still this year. They've got the Bulldogs next week, and I think that's going to be a big game. You know what? Like, this game tells you a lot about the Broncos, but if they can beat the Bulldogs next week, like, you've really got to start putting them into the top 4 potential equation. But the Broncos do have a lot of, like, they're still making a lot of errors in this game. A lot of errors. Logan Paulsek says, finally time for an informed Reece Walsh to shine in Origin. Oh, he's a New South Wales fan. Here he is. All right, the Warriors here, 4 tackle, 25. Oh, no, 3rd tackle. Get the offload away. And they'll be 20 metres out now, 4 tackle. Benjamin says, only just subscribe today. Love the ladder. It's a great ladder, mate. Beautiful ladder. Beautiful ladder. This is a real ladder, mate. I don't know. You just love what it is, It's as simple as that. And Warriors go up, knock it back. Try time of the Wars. I think it's a try time of the Wars. And it's going to be a try time for the Warriors right next to the post. It's 12-4 here with a kick to come. And that is why you don't write it off too early, because the game is well and truly on. And who was the one who said before? Well, to be fair, Jack Lewis was the one who said before that the Broncos are making a lot of errors, and it's going to let the Warriors back into the game. And I said the Warriors don't have a good attack, and that is true. I didn't necessarily think it based on what we were seeing, but there's a long way to go, and the Warriors will score as soon as they go up the other end, and that is off the back of an error from the Broncos. It is off the back of an error from the Broncos. They gave away the knock-on in the attack in 20, and then they gave away a penalty. Oh, Riddle says, hard, bro. Good squad, man. Yeah, like a ball sacks. Ooh, does he actually get that ball down? I don't know if he actually puts that ball on the ground. I don't know if he actually gets that ball to the ground. This might be held up here. It's a knockback. Either way, it'll still be Warriors' ball. I don't know if you're going to be able to prove to me that ball hits the ground. I think this might be held up. I think it might be held up. Michael says, booyah. No, it's not going to be a booyah, unfortunately, Michael. It's not going to be a booyah. They are going to the bunker, and I'm pretty certain they're going to say held up. Nikhil says everyone should hit the like and subscribe. Exactly right, Nikhil. Tell them. Tell them louder. So we'll say 12-0, but the Warriors are going to still have the ball. So he comes down, and you're just never going to see... Oh! Yeah, I just don't... Yeah, it stays up. This is going to be no try. Logan Paul says, it's a disappointing season for the Raiders this year. Can't relate to his second-place Doggies. Yeah, well, you know, the Dogs, they were really disappointing. They were in 17th, and then obviously yesterday when the Raiders won, the Bulldogs just jumped up and Raiders just fell off. It's crazy scenes, mate. Crazy scenes. Chad Lewis, so I want the Broncos obviously for my double, but these knock-ons are worrying. Need to hold on to the damn bull. Yeah, there's a lot of knock-ons from the Bronx. Actually, how many knock-ons there has been? I'm going to look at the stats. All right, no try, but it will be Warriors ball at the 10. It's still their ball. Oh, that was the end of the set, sorry. It didn't come off of Brisbane hands. And no, it's not 6 again, actually. It's not Warriors ball at the 10. It is Broncos ball at the 10. Because that was fit tackle and it didn't touch a Bronco. How many errors? So the Broncos so far have made 5 errors. So it's 5-4 error count. 5-4 error count. Oh, he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball. Knock on Broncos. There's 6 errors right there for you. The Broncos are wanting the Warriors back into this game. They are demanding the Warriors to come back into this game. Oh, they're going to challenge us here, the Broncos. They're going to please be better challenged than what we saw from the Tigers yesterday. Please. Or was it Manly? I can't remember. One of those two teams made the most brain-dead challenge call I've ever seen. But the Broncos will challenge this. Broncos Sports says no try being Bong Matabish. No try being Bong Matabish today. And... he's got his hand... Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. I think he's just really lost this ball. Does he strip it, though? Or they are going to say that it's a strip. They are going to say it's a penalty. I want to quickly have a look at this again. Oh, I'm looking at... I'm not looking at Ez Clark's hands. I don't know. That's a tight call. But, sure, they call it a penalty. So it'll be a Broncos penalty. Logan Paul says Broncos Premiership defensive powerhouse, horses of war. What are you talking about? You're off your rocker. Of course you'd say that because your team got slapped by them a couple of weeks ago, didn't they? It's the first tackle now for the Bronx, and they're going to be 42 metres out from the line. I don't know. I really just don't know if that was a strip, but that's what they called. So Adam Reynolds now. Skunkle. Oh, the old Skunkle's turned up for the first time ever. Wow, is this your first stream here, Skunkle? Also, I love how your name's back. You've got your Sam Jenkinson name back in the chat. Loving the ladder. It's a great ladder, mate. It's fantastic. Third tackle now at the 28. Third tackle. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Change back without me changing it, Rip. Yeah, well, we're going to find out about your previous working occupational history. Look what the cat dragged in. Cat dragged him in. Cat dragged him in. Full tackle now. 25 metres out. Corey Pakes. Now, Bronx will be 15 metres out through Xavier Willison. That was marginal. Yeah, I don't know if you could... he was so confident to overturn that immediately, too. That's not a good play from Reynolds. Ezra Mam now with the ball. He kicks this ball through, and that was just an awful end of the set there for the Bronx, and the Warriors will get the ball at 10. Watch stripping action. I don't know. I disagree with the call. Nikhil says, how come our usual names aren't showing in chat? I don't know. I didn't do anything. It just happened yesterday. Middle of the stream yesterday is when that happened. It just happened randomly during the Manly and Tigers game. So, yeah. Now we know Skunkle's occupational history again. 4 tackle here at the 30. YouTube update. Oh, so it's everywhere on YouTube, is it? Out of the right-hand side, Luke Metcalf. He gets that ball away to Kurt Catewell. Flicks that ball up. That's 4 pass. That's a 4 pass. Doesn't matter because he's over the sideline. That's ball don't lie right there. That's ball don't lie because that was a forward pass there from the Warriors that they didn't pick up, and then they could take it on the sideline anyway. Yeah, YouTube is messing around with things again. Same old YouTube, mate. Same old YouTube. But it was a nice run there from Metcalf, but that's definitely a forward pass there from Kurt Catewell. I can't believe that they didn't pick it up, but then again, that's because the touchy isn't anywhere close to being in alignment with the play. Grass McGrass, do not lie, Logan Paul Sachs. If I was ever to say the most truthful and non-lying liar that ever did non-lie, it would be Grassy McGrass. It would be Grassy McGrass. But Grass McGrath didn't actually play in that one. No. It was, Grass McGrath was the one that the player landed on, but the ball didn't land there. And the ball don't lie. Just like Grass McGrath doesn't. First tackle now with the Broncos. Now second at the 50, at the 45. Good run. Wow. That's a really strong run there from Xavier Willison. Olivia says, thank God our defense is so much better today. Well, it's like the Broncos defense has been good today, but again, the Warriors haven't really thrown much at the Broncos. Like it's really been a very typical first half attack. Then again, the Warriors are usually the better. Oh, that's an obstruction. That's an obstruction. That's an obstruction. That's a penalty. Referee, we're going to pretend that didn't happen. Hello? How is that not a penalty to the Warriors then? Yeah, Warriors attack is absolutely diabolical, Jack Lewis, and it has been for the most part this season. Which is why it's actually quite funny that Metcalf is top of the Dally M leaderboard before closed doors. Fit tackle, 7 metres out from the line. Fit tackle. Out to the left, Reece Walsh. Walsh off to Reynolds. Reynolds steps back onto the inside, and their fit tackle options have also... Oh, that's going to be a knock on Broncos. Broncos nearly ended up scoring from that, but the Broncos fit tackle options have been quite dreadful as well, to be fair. Jay says, Grass McGrath is no longer legal in Thailand, I see. Are you talking about, like, weed? Is that what you're talking about? Because I have heard here that it's being... And, like, there are a lot of things that are illegal here that aren't illegal, but I did hear that they're trying to make it illegal. And for people who don't know Thailand, weed here is quite literally, maybe not where no, if I would leave the hotel that I'm at right now, within maybe 100 meters, there is 4 weed shops. Just like, it's called Cannabis Shop or Weed Hub. Like, it's like 4 on this little area of this street just here. It's ridiculous. I'm talking about weed. No, I know that, Jay. That's what I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about. But I'm pretty certain... Yeah, I did hear that they're trying to make it illegal. Third tackle. Ibrahim says, Grass McGrath's having a better game than Metcalf. The Dally M is coming. Oh, no, the Dally M. Grass McGrath has got that shit sorted. Oh, my gosh. You now need a prescription. Well, not now. You'll probably need it in a couple of months or so. Like, they're obviously legislating it and whatnot. But I don't smoke weed, so it doesn't really impact me. It's not that I don't. It's not really something that I think about too much. So Reece Walsh here at the 25 and then gets this ball here to the 30. But I think it's because Thailand's trying to really curb the bad tourism, which there is a lot of bad tourism here. So they're trying to... They legalized everything like that to get tourism in and then realized that tourism isn't the tourism they want to bring in. So I guess that's why they're removing it. Doesn't impact me. I'm not in Thailand. Yet you are in Australia, in Perth, where it is illegal anyway. Oh, the Broncos are away here. Broncos are away at the 30, sorry. And there'll be 4 tackle, 50 seconds to go here of the first half. I wouldn't say no to a field goal even. The Bronx, Jay Hayes, get up and down, mate. Get jumping around. No, they're not going to go for the field goal. It's going to be charged down. Oh, no, the Bronx might score. The Bronx might score. Oh, they're 10 metres out, 35 seconds to go here. A charge down landed straight in Willison's hand. The Broncos are Warriors. Oh, no, this would be... Your game's done if you concede here. 25 seconds to go here. Second tackle here with the Broncos. 3 metres out. They give it out to Adam Reynolds. Adam Reynolds, he'll flick that ball to Grass McGrath. Big play. But the Broncos still with the ball. And they're 10 metres out. 14 seconds. I'd go for a field goal. I really would. If I'm the Bronx, I'd go for a field goal. They go to left. They might even go for a try. They will score. Oh, dude, Warriors. Oh, no, Warriors. Hamad Shibasaki will score 16-0 right on halftime. Right on halftime. Oh, my goodness me. That is a crusher, dude. That is a massive, massive crusher. 16-0 with a kick to come. You just had to hold out one more play. And unfortunately for you, New Zealand, the Broncos are now up 16-0 with a kick to come. The charge down there from Tamati Martin went straight into the hands of Willison. So unlucky there from the Waz. And the Broncos will find a way to score. Jack Lewis says, these knock-ons would make you think it's hammering down. The conditions are drier than Gandhi's flip-flop. Oh, fuck. Gosh. It's good to see that Shibasaki didn't drop that ball, though. Try time bing bong, mother bitch, Brocky. You're right. Ibrahim says, I think we all needed some after that Manly game. Yeah, that's fair. David Carter says, hi, BK Sport. Are you going to the Gold Coast Titans game tomorrow? Yeah, I got every game, mate. Yeah. I might be in Thailand right now. I'll just flick on back. I'll flick on back. Be at Seabus tomorrow, mate. I'll be there, cheering alongside Brocky. I'm a big Papua New Guinea fan, mate. Big. Justin Sunder says, just put the game on. Come on to Waz. There's no coming on the Waz here. No coming on the Waz at the moment, Sunder. Not so much coming on the Waz. More so, Waz looking pretty awful at the moment. Kate says, Waz deserve this. Can't play like this. Well, yeah, sure. Reynolds will get the kick and it'll be 18-0. Reynolds will get the kick and it'll be 18-0, and this has been a really disappointing game here for the Warriors. It's been a really, really disappointing game for the Warriors, and they are deserving of their fraud alert right now. And, you know, even Warriors fans, you've got to agree. Like, if you're a Warriors fan, please let me know in the chat if I'm wrong here. But this has been really, really poor. It has been poor this week and poor last week. There is still a second half to go. It's only 18-0, which I believe is probably at the point where it's like, I think the Broncos go on with this. But you've gone through the entire first half. You've not scored against a Broncos team that has had a ridiculous amount of errors. You know, the Broncos have asked you many times. They've pleaded with you, please get back into the game. You've got this. We're 6 errors. 6 errors from the Broncos in the first half. 6-5 in errors. Like, the Broncos have asked you to come back into the game, and the Warriors just can't do it. Like, they got so close to scoring. They got held up, and their attack is just leaving a lot to be desired, man. So let's get through some of these stats here at halftime. Get into the chat, let me know your thoughts. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. And the possession count tells you everything you need to know. 60% to the Broncos, despite all their knock-ons, despite all their mistakes. 60% of possession has been the Broncos. 40% of possession has been for the Warriors. 16 minutes and 11 is the time of possession for the Bronx. 9 minutes and 48 for the Warriors. That is insane. Time and possession in the entirety of the first half for the Warriors was 9 minutes and 48 seconds. Not even 10 minutes. That is insane. 16 minutes is decent enough for the Bronx, but less than 10 minutes for the Warriors is wild. Completion rate is 86% for 19 from 22 for the Broncos, so a very good completion rate there despite their mistakes. And then 73% for the Warriors at 11 from 15. That's not a good completion rate. You want to be looking towards that 78, 80% mark as a flat line, and they're well underneath that 73%. You know, one more error and they go underneath 70% into the 60s. You know, so that tells you that the Warriors, they're making just as much mistakes themselves. Now, runs-wise, 90 runs here for the Broncos. 65 runs for the Warriors. These stats are not looking pretty, Warriors fans. 793 run meters for the Bronx, 495 run meters here for the Warriors. So, to get the comparison going, you look to go the 10 meters per run on average. Not that I think the Warriors are really averaging that at the moment. They're definitely not, considering a 66 runs for 495. Well underneath that. But you look at, if you give them the 10 meters per run, it is currently a 76, 86, 25 run gap. So 250 meters. Is what you would try to add on to the Warriors there. 595, 695, and they're about 730, 740, which is still 70, 60 below where the Broncos are at if you have the same comparison. So again, not a good stat here, Warriors. Post-contact meters is absurd. 283 to 151. Even if you try and flatline that across the board, the Broncos are killing you on the post-contact. Line breaks, 4-0 Broncos. Tackle breaks, 22-4 Broncos. Wow. Average set distance, 25 to 30, or anything under 25, I end the stream at halftime. 25 to 30, you wouldn't even spit at it. 30 to 35 is not good. 35 to 40 is average. You take it. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and 50 plus is amazing. 36.39 here for the Broncos, so they're not actually doing too well in regards to the meters. Average set distance is 36.39. They are on an average. It's on the lower end of the average, so it's not like they're making huge meters overall, and they're not getting massive set distances. So, you know, that's surprising that they have killed all of these stats, and yet they're still only at 36.39, whilst the Warriors is 33.01, so you're not even hitting the marker. Not even hitting the basic marker of 35. You're at 33.01. So that is... yeah, that's really disappointing there. It's not too... the Broncos are actually underneath as well now. They're 34.8, just updated. So the Broncos are at 34.8. They are not hitting the flatline marker, and the Warriors definitely aren't with 33.01. So both teams disappointing there on the set distances. And it's surprising because it is a dry track out there. The play the ball speed is 3.49 seconds for the Broncos, so getting to the slower side, but it's pretty average. 3.22 seconds for the Warriors is pretty speedy. It's not extreme, but it's pretty speedy. anything underneath 3.3 is getting pretty fast. That's why it was so crazy the other day with the Panthers on 2.8. Like I can't get over it. Then you've got the kick refusal of 33% for both teams. Same. And then defensive effective tackle percentage. This is another thing the Warriors are getting killed in right now. 94% here for the Broncos. The marker is 88%. So 88% to 90 is marker, what you want to be averaging. 90 plus is amazing. The Broncos are at 94%. 141 tackles made, 4 missed tackles, and 5 ineffective. You don't usually see more ineffective than missed tackles, but 9 bad tackles for the Broncos in the first half with a 94% effective tackle percentage and 141 tackles made is actually extremely good. That is really good there for the Broncos. Their defense is coming up clutch. But again, the Warriors aren't really throwing enough at them. They're really not doing too much to kind of break through the line and to show anything. So it's a mixture of, I don't know how to read it. Is it good Broncos defense or are the Warriors just playing pitiful attack? It could be a bit of both, but I am kind of leaning towards more so of the Warriors because we've seen it on a consistent level throughout the season that the Warriors, their attack struggles. And then you look at the effective tackle percentage here for the Warriors, 87.83%. They're still underneath the marker. They're not even hitting the 88% on the effective tackle percentage. And that's why you can see it's 18-0 right now, even though it was a try right on half time. That's not hitting the marker of 88%. So 202 tackles made for a whopping 23 missed tackles. Usually, like, you'll see, like, the Broncos' 4 missed tackles is amazing. But 23 missed tackles, usually an average that you'll see from teams in the first half or in halves are about maybe 14, 15. A good one is under 10. But 14, 15 is what you usually will see in regards to missed tackles. So they're like 8, 9 above that, which is rough. 5 effective tackles as well. So you compare the 9 bad tackles with 141 for the Broncos for the tackles made compared to 28 bad tackles and then 202 tackles made there for the Warriors. There is a clear gap there. And then you go to the errors, 6-5 errors Broncos way. So it's not like, the Warriors are making a whole bunch of errors and the Broncos are just playing fantastic football. 6 errors is a decent amount of errors. That's a lot of errors there for the Broncos. So is 5 for the Warriors, but the Broncos have made more errors. Penalties conceded is 5-2 Warriors. So they're ill-disciplined. Ruck infringements is 1-1, and inside 10 metres is 2-0. So there is really, across all stat metrics, there is not a single stat that I can say is a benefit to the Warriors. I don't think that they're leading in any stat right now. And if you want to be nitpicky and say the play the ball speed, like who gives a shit about the play the ball speed? It's great that you're at 3.22, but who cares if you're not scoring and if you're not really threatening? And that's what the Warriors are doing. So 3.51 is you can, if you want a 10-second play the ball speed at this point for the Broncos, who cares? They're up 18-0. So the only positive stat here for the Warriors is their play the ball speed. It was, not a good first half, man. But a whole second half to go here. Long time to change it around. But please let me know your thoughts in the chat about both teams. Ibrahim says, has the mystery of who Jay supports been solved yet? He's a Titans fan, mate. He's a Titans fan. He used to be a Cowboys fan. Now he's a Titans fan. Paul says, close competition. Close competition, but I will throw out a statement here and say, is it good competition? Maybe not a statement, but a question mixed in with a statement. Is it good competition? It's a very exciting season. I'm loving it. Every part of this year has been fantastic to watch. I've really enjoyed this season. But is it actually peak competition? It's close, for sure. But I don't know if there are many teams who are that great right now. I don't know. I really am not too sure. X-Destin says, I'm surprised and respect that you actually don't have fraud alert in the Broncos. Well, they won against the Sharks last week. So even though the Sharks are the biggest scammers that I ever did see scam, I did say in that Broncos-Sharks game, if the Broncos won, they'd be off fraud alert, which they did. So that's why they're off fraud alert. And the Sharks, if they had won, they would have gone from scammers to frauds. But they're like double, triple, quadruple scammers. Oh, buddy, Sharks pissed me off. Buddy, Sharks pissed me off, man. I didn't win damn well comp, man. But anyway, point of the matter is that, no, on this channel, man, like, we have banter and we talk shit, but like, I will give fair dues to the Broncos when necessary. I will give you my thoughts, but but also tell them to fuck off. David says, my dad follows the Brisbane Broncos. I'm so sorry to hear, mate. I hope he's well. Benjamin says, no haka today, up the Bronx. Well, still a whole second half to go here, man. Still a whole second half to go. Ibrahim says, that's right. X-Test and Q says, I think they're making errors, but they've made a lot of errors early in sets, which is lowering the average. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Aloe Lakana says, what's wrong with the Warriors? I think they've hit a real... They've hit a real rough patch and flat point of the season, which every team goes through. Every single team will have a slump, right? The Bulldogs are kind of in it right now. Like I don't think that it's rough to judge them based off of that Panthers game, but they're kind of in a slump right now because didn't they lose the other week as well? They had the bye then. Was it round 15? And they beat the Rabbitohs 24-18, which was okay. And they beat the Eels. I don't know if I couldn't say the Bulldogs were in a slump. Actually, I couldn't. And I would have said based off of the game. That's right. They lost 44-8 to the Dolphins. That was the one. But there was excuses for that one. They're like genuine excuses. But every team will go through one. Every single team. I think the Raiders, funnily enough, actually went through their slump very recently. And I would even argue that their slump they're kind of in it, and yet they're still winning games. Because they're not playing well, but they're winning games. They weren't unbelievable against the Knights yesterday. They only won 22-18. They definitely weren't good against the Tigers, but they won 16-12. They were really good against the Rabbitohs 36-12. They were okay against the Roosters when they won 26-24. It's actually astounding. The only time that the Raiders have lost since round 4 against the Cowboys, they won round 5, round 6, round 7, round 8, round 9, were up 20-0 against the Dogs and then lost 32-20, and then one round 11, one round 12, one round 13, one round 14, one round 16, and one round 17. It's a crazy season for the Raiders, and I genuinely think that they're currently in a slump and they're just winning games. And their draw doesn't get harder. They play the Dragons next, like whoop-de-doo. Then they have a bye. The Eels, the Knights, and the Dragons again. What the shit? The Raiders have got the easiest run home ever. Dragons, Eels, Knights, Dragons again. A Manly team that is absolutely all over the shop at the moment. Their next difficult game, really difficult game, is against the Panthers in round 25. And then they play the Tigers and the Dolphins. Raiders have got the minor premiership for mine. The Raiders have got the minor premiership for mine. Tell me I'm wrong. That's a ridiculous run home. Praise says, what a wild round. Bulldogs went from 17th to 2nd and Raiders went down to last place. Titans remain on top for the 17th week in a row. No. The Titans remain on top for the 18th year in a row. Yes, Pray. Come on, Pray. You got to start clicking on. You got to really start clicking on here. That's 18 years in a row. It's a crazy season. Mason says Titans at first. Well, this is the ladder, mate. What do you want me to do? I can't change it. It's a ladder. What do you want me to do? What are we doing here? We can't change the ladder. Why you put the dead face there? They've played fantastic footy, mate. Fantastic footy. Damn, a lot of people are getting timed out at the moment. Am I streaming the next 2 games? I'm not streaming the Dragons-Eels game, but I will be here for the Dolphins-Rabbitohs game. Ibrahim says, mate, where's proof? Oh, hold on. What's he saying? Raiders are first. No? Well, clearly not. Clearly not, buddy. Buddy old champ. Bucko. Pal. Clearly not. Clearly not, mate. Gold Coast Titans are last in the NRL ladder. Why do you have them coming first? David Carter, this is the problem. They're first, not last. So that's a really big telling point in your argument there. Really big telling point. And the telling point is that you're wrong. Melissa says, this means Broncos will win the comp. Sharks, not Scammers, confirmed. You are on Scammer until ever. Then the only time I will take you off of Scam is the 31st of Neverary. The Sharks will be on Scam for the history of mankind. They have always been on Scam, and they will always be on Scam until proven otherwise. Bloody damn well, Sharks. Unbelievable. Wise had to come back second half. Long time to go here, Aloe Lucana, but it's just not looked pretty in the first half. Not looked pretty. Praise is interesting because the Warriors are usually known to thrive during origin periods. This year they are slumping through it. Yeah, they definitely are. And this is, if they lose this game, if they're going to lose this game, the Broncos and the Roosters are only 4 points behind them. The Broncos have a much better points differential than them. And now the Roosters also have a better points differential than them. So it's a 4-point separator. What's the upcoming games here for the Wars? What is the upcoming games for the Warriors? So the Warriors, after this, have a bye next week, which will benefit them greatly. They need that bye to come. They actually, the worst thing for them was the previous bye. So they beat the Sharks 40-10 at Cronulla, and then they had the bye, and then they lost 28-18 to the Panthers, and then are losing 18-0 here at halftime to the Broncos. Hopefully this bye next week kicks them back into gear. Hopefully it kicks them back into gear. Charles Klokstad looks injured here. So the Broncos are coming out onto the field. But anyway, after the bye, the Warriors take on the Tigers, then the Knights, then the Titans, who you don't have a great record against, the Dolphins, the Bulldogs, the Dragons, the Titans again, who you don't have a great record against, the Eels, and then Manly. So your next 4 weeks, bye, Tigers, Knights, and Titans. Very winnable 4 weeks. So this is definitely the biggest concern. Is that sure, and it's all well and good you make the top 4. It's all well and good you make the finals, you play the finals, hip hip hooray. You know, celebrate until the cows come home. But ultimately you want to win a competition. The Warriors have never won a premiership before. And I say this to Knights fans all the time when they circle jerk the Knights 10-game streaks to run home and make the finals. What's the point of being there if you're not going to win it? Like, what's the point? So for me, the Warriors have taken, so they kick this ball off here, second half, hit that like button and subscribe. For me, the Warriors, they've taken on the Raiders twice, they've got whooped by them once, and then lost at home to them in a close one in the second game. They've taken on the Storm once, and they've got to play them again, and they have a dreadful record against Melbourne, but at least it's in New Zealand. But they took on the Storm and got absolutely whooped. So that's 0-3 from teams in the top 4. They haven't taken on the Dogs yet, but they're 0-3 against top 4 opposition. They beat the Sharks, who are now outside of the 8. Were in 5th at the time, but now outside of the 8. So now the next best team here is the Broncos, who are in 5th. I can't remember if the Warriors beat the Roosters. Can someone let me know? And penalty of the Broncos. Not off to a good start here, Warriors, in the second half. I can't remember if the Warriors beat the Roosters or not. But then again, the Roosters would have been in a pretty different situation at the time they probably played. But the point is now, with the Broncos being in 5th, if they win this game, they've lost to the Raiders, Storm, and the Broncos. They are the only 3 teams around them, besides the Bulldogs who they haven't played yet. You can beat all the lower teams all you like, but you just become the Cronulla Sharks at that point. Mark says, do you think the Warriors will be safe in the playoffs? I think the Warriors make the finals. Their run home absolutely suggests they make the finals, but I don't think they win the competition. And if you have a reason to debate that, then please feel free in the chat. Feel free to tell me why the Warriors are going to win the competition, because right now it's just not given it. Third tackle. Right now I've got Raiders very clear faves, but I also can see the Storm coming through clutch, and I can also see the Panthers coming in clutch as well. If we get a Panthers Storm grand final, I give up on rugby league at this point. You give up. You throw it away. You call it quits. You kill the stream. 4th tackle of the Broncos, 5 metres away from the line. Hetherington to Reece Walsh. Reece Walsh. Oh, that defense from the Warriors was... Oh, he's been held up. Wow, that's good. That actually was good scramble. That was good scramble for the Warriors, but it was good from Reece Walsh until it wasn't. Benjamin says, wow, that's a bullshit run home for the Raiders. Lucky them. Exactly right. But then again, go back to the early part of the season. I'll get it now. Go back to the early part of the season, and they had a really tough one. 5th tackle here for the Broncos. They're 10 metres out. The Broncos score here, it's game. But that won't be. So Warriors will get the ball here at the 10. But again, you go to... Where is the Raiders? The Raiders start. They played the Warriors, top 4. Broncos were currently in 5th if they win this game. Manly at the time, which we all thought they'd be a top 4 team back then. Cowboys was a bad loss for them. That's a penalty to the Warriors here. Penalty to the Warriors. They need that. They need that. And then they took on the Sharks. A big game against top-of-the-table Titans. They won 30-20. They played the Storm and the Dogs. They've had a really rough start to this season in regards to the draw, but obviously they've won so many of those games, and now they get an easier run home, which I don't think will benefit them. It doesn't benefit you that you have 2 buys still remaining for the Raiders. They have 2 buys left, and also they play easy teams. You kind of want to get a chug along against really good opposition. But again, you've already beaten most of those good opposition, except for the Bulldogs. Chancellor Clockstad has been ruled out here with a knee injury. God bless him, man. So 6 again for the Warriors, and they'll be 40 metres out, but Chancellor Clockstad will not be back here today. Logan Bulldogs says, no, mate, Bulldogs are guaranteed minor premiers. Impossible to argue. I think it's very possible to argue. I actually think it's superbly possible to argue. I think it's spot on to argue, actually. Ibrahim says, who has a good record against the Titans? Well, the Titans never lost a game, so you raise a very good point there. Warriors here, through the line, 5 metres out, third tackle. 5 metres out, third tackle. Wade Egan, short ball, 6 again. Not Kurt Kate, well, that's Rocco Berry fan club. 3 metres out, Wade Egan. He'll go out at the back here to Luke Metcalf. Metcalf then to Big Bunty. Bunty a forward. No, 2 metres out. Second tackle. That wasn't Bunty. And Harris Savita, he'll get away from one. And he'll keep going here. Damn, Broncos defense is a bit in tatters, but they just keep coming up with the scramble. My brain's frazzled at the moment. And Vaimolga, he'll get it offloaded. And I think I just looked at the hairstyle of Vaimolga and thought my brain just went to Big Bunty. Third tackle, Luke Metcalf. He's 10 metres away. They're still going here. They're just pushing off. They're just pushing off galore. Pushing off galore. They go to the right side. Rocco Berry. And Rocco Berry's going to be 5 metres out now. Fourth tackle. Fourth tackle. Now Luke Metcalf to Aaron Clark. And Aaron Clark pushes off a couple. Broncos are just missing tackles galore at the moment, but they're not conceding. So fifth tackle now for the Warriors. Wade Egan gives it out to Vaimolga. They kick it through. Chance here for the Warriors. Played out there. Try time for the one. No, it's knock on. No, I think it's going to be a knock on here from Harris Savita. It's off the foot. It might be an accidental offside here against the Broncos. I think this is a no try, but I think this might be a penalty to the Warriors. Benjamin said, I think it will be a Broncos versus Titans grand final. I wish. No, Benjamin, I can't do that because that's make it or break for me. That is either sheer ecstasy or delete the channel. It's either sheer ecstasy that you guys will never come back from or time to delete the channel. So that ricochets there. And then it will touch the Broncos there. So it's going to be Warriors ball here, but I'm pretty certain this is that to be a knock on. He doesn't look confident at all. No, it's a knock on. I'm pretty certain it was a Warriors ball though. Oh, it was a double knock on, sorry. So it wasn't an accidental offside, but it was a knock on against the Broncos. Injuries are happening a lot more, though. There are more cautious tackles. Sorry? Injuries are happening a lot more, even though there are... sorry, I didn't say that even. Even though there are a lot more cautious tackles. At the end of the day, professional sport is professional sport, man. Like, injuries are going to happen, and it's unfortunate, but this is... It is a little bit of the name of the game. A bit of a hard watch this game. Definitely a hard watch. No, I don't think this is too hard of a watch, to be fair. It's not the greatest. I understand what you're doing, by the way. I see your name, but like, it's not the greatest game. But I don't think it's awful. There is still quite a few errors though. All right, so 10 metres out here from the line. First tackle, and the Warriors will be 5 metres out. 35 minutes to go here of the game. You need to just capitalise, man. The amount of mistakes the Broncos have made. 6 again here for the Warriors. Wade Egan, Luke Metcalf had the back. Surely try. Pass it out, left-hand side. Right time for the Warriors. They will score. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck goes bang in the corner. It's 18-4 with the kit to come. 18-4 with the kit to come. You can't take that one. You can't take that one. Jay, stop being a keyboard hero. Oh, Jay. You know how to pick him. You know how to pick him, Jay. But it's gonna be try time there for the Warriors out in the corner. I don't know why it's showing the other name. It's Acidic. That's just a stupid name I made. So the people who are just listening, this man's name on the chat is Biggest Penis. This is the levels of people we have in our conversations here on the channel. This is our levels. We have a man in the chat whose name is Biggest Penis, and there is also a man called Lagging Ball Sacks in the chat. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing at this point? What are we doing with life? What are we doing with life at this point? Lagan says, I can't even see David's messages. You are all schizophrenics. Well, that's probably because he's been timed out for starters. But you're also probably not on live chat. A lot of people don't see comments because you're on top chat. If you click on live chat, you'll see pretty much every comment. So 33 minutes to go here of this game. At least the Warriors put themselves back into it, but this is a huge kick here, and the Warriors are not well known for their conversion taking. They are very much they are known as the worst conversion taking team in the league, and that's from right in front, let alone from the sideline. Far left, he's 50% this season, Metcalf. And he will... Good kick, actually. Beautiful. That's a beautiful kick there from Luke Metcalf. Oh, damn, he stared down the crowd there. You know, good on him, man, because he has been absolutely shithouse conversion kicking. So that is great to see that he gets that. It's great to see that he gets that because that has been the Achilles for the Warriors over the last couple of years with Chanel Harris-Savita and him. And That's why Tanner Boyd don't miss. Yeah, they should have got him in, but that's a great kick there from Luke Metcalf. And it keeps them in the game. They're only down by 12 now. My boy is a massive Titans fan. I'm a Broncos fan, but that would be a dream come true to see grand final Broncos versus Titans. Not for me, it wouldn't. Not for me, it wouldn't. Because the amount of bullshit I would have to deal with if we lost that grand final would just be out of this world. I wouldn't live in Australia. I wouldn't be in Australia. Oh, I'd be at the grand final too. Oh gosh damn it, man. Like no, I couldn't cope with that. Let us play some rando team. Let us play some absolute rando team. Please, not the Bronx. We win that game, and I'd shove it so far down your throat it's not funny. But if we lost that game, I would probably be dead. So 4 tackle now for the Warriors at the 40. Taylor said, I don't know why I'm nervous as the Warriors have been terrible, but something is telling me this game's going to the wire. I don't know why. Next score, massive come Bronx. Well, probably because the Warriors just scored and brought it back within 12, so you're probably thinking the team that just scored has a bit of momentum, especially considering the Broncos have deserved a team, anyone, to score against them today. It's just the Warriors, they finally give them something to worry about. Mackie Hornsby says, my Waz faith stick drops out below top 8 post this. Okay. My Waz faith stick drops out. Okay, well, let's do this one in English. The Warriors are going to get the ball here at 15. No, they've knocked the ball on. Who knocks it? Yeah, Warriors knocked the ball on, so it'll be Broncos ball at 15. Can we do that comment again in English, please, Mackie? Can we please redo that one, but in English? We do not speak. We do not speak Tanzanian here on the channel. No, we do not speak Tanzanian. We speak English. Speaking English? Yeah, fair enough. Flowers die because of your smell. What the hell is happening? Can we move? Well, let's move. Let's move on from this. Let's move on from this. So Laban goes off and Halasima comes on now for the Warriors, and the Broncos will have the ball at the 20. It was very close. The Warriors have the ball at 15. Bronx, Grass McGrath has been their biggest ally today. Biggest ally. So Billy Walls is about to come back on. Come on. And he usually, when he comes on, he actually does impact the game quite well. Lucas says, Kosi is so bad. The old Kosi. I've never really rated Edward Kosi, to be fair. Ibrahim says, Mackie, you're the reason why they're banning weed in Thailand. That is true. They did say that in the legislation. So 4 tackle now for the Broncos at the 40. On the Warriors side of the field. 30 minutes to go here of the game. 30 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe. It is only a 12-point game, and the Warriors were really poor in the first half, but they've found a way to get back into it slightly. And Reynolds kicks that one through. Warriors will grab the ball. Right, that's a penalty. Oh, that's outrageous. That's outrageous, Warriors. That's outrageous to give that penalty away. Like, that is absurd. Jackson Ford, you have been detrimental to your team today. I don't even know why you're arguing this, dude. Please just shush and go back into the line. That is disrespectful, man. If I'm the Broncos, I take the 2 here, and I put the finger up at Jackson Ford. Dead set. Like, it's so stupid. Like, the ball is clearly going to the I think it's the winger. Either way, it's just absolutely absurd. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. To give away a penalty in that situation is just wild. So now it's about to be 20-6. If Broncos lose, guaranteed fraud? No, because the Warriors are a top 4 team. You can't do that. Warriors are a top 4 team. Was it even onside? And that's a good point, Lucas. I did hear the commentary saying that Reece Walsh wasn't onside. So if he's not onside, then that shouldn't be a penalty. If he's not onside, then that shouldn't be a penalty then. And Reynolds will get the kick. So it's 20-6 to the Broncos with 29 minutes to go here of the game. 26. 2022, Kosi scored 8 tries in 11 games where he only won 3 of the 11. Pretty impressive. I just signed him to a 10-year contract with Adam O'Brien. Jay says, off topic, just saying the Aussies took all 10 wickets in an innings to win the test. Did they really? Damn, they were looking awful as well. I didn't know it. I didn't check the cricket last night. Is that true? Wow. And they won by 159 runs. Like, they had a great second innings at 310. That's actually amazing. Couple of ducks. Well, yeah, wow, that's impressive, man. That is impressive. Yeah, that's an insane turnaround because they were looking really rough after that first innings. Get that up here, England. England! England! Mackie says, Panthers without the stars. Now this bad news. It is bad news. It is bad news. But, Mackie, I think you said you're a Warriors fan. It was bad news for you last week and they didn't even have their stars. They didn't even have Nathan Cleary, Brian To'o, Dylan Edwards, Isaiah Yeo, Liam Martin. They didn't have them. They weren't playing. The Warriors still got done over at home. So it shows you the tenacity that the Panthers do have. Sorry for change of subject, but can't wait for Game 3. Hope Queensland hammer them Blues. Yeah, tell them, Benjamin. Absolutely. Absolutely. We will be live here. It's going to be a huge stream, dude. Our last 2 Origin streams, we've had over 2,000 people live in the chat, both games. So fit tackle, they kick it. Now the Warriors will grab it, bring it out here to the 25 on first tackle. Ian says take the 2. Hey, the 2 was taken. The 2 was taken on multiple occasions here by the Broncos, and you know they're pretty happy with it considering they're up by 14. Pretty happy with it. Speaking of that, batting from us in the first innings was horrible. Correct. So the Warriors now through Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He'll get this ball at the 42 on third tackle. It's the West Indies lagging. They've been horrible for about 10 years. Sure, but if you watch the test match, you would know. Also, hold on a second, Mr. England. Hold on a second here. I don't think anyone from England should be talking too much shit about cricket, considering for how long since you've beaten us? What is it, 12 years now? 11 years? 12? Is it 12 years now since England? England! Wade Egan out of the right-hand side. Luke Metcalf. They sing it's coming home every single tournament for every single sport. And even in a sport that they've never won it. They're saying it's coming home in the Euros. You never won the Euros. How's it coming home? It's never been home. So how is it your home? I don't care about the Indies. I hate England. Fair enough, Logan. Fair enough. Oz would be nothing without Hazelwood. Mate, Hazelwood's the GOAT. Third tackle now at the 15 for the Broncos. They're not making too many metres here. And Reece Walsh at the 25, fourth tackle. Cam Green, the biggest bunny ever at 3. Please get him out of the team. Slap you down this time if you put those batters out. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm scared. Mate, we could put Tom, Sally, and my grandma in the Australian cricketing team. We'd still do over England 4-0 at the minimum before SCG gets rained out. We'd still do you over 4-0. Maybe we'll grant you 3-1 and be grateful for our gratitude. Be grateful, buddy. England would lose to Zimbabwe in cricket. Buddy, England. Unbelievable. I also agree with that, Jay. So, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck on third tackle. They'll be at the 42. Sam Constas is worse than Zach Crawley. Wade Egan's away here for the Warriors. Wade Egan's away, taking down to the 35. That was a great run, though. Fourth tackle here for the Warriors. Broncos struggling to get back on side. Fisher Harris goes out to the left-hand side, and that is a knock-on. Unbelievable, New Zealand. Oh, my gosh, New Zealand. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh, New Zealand. Please, you put me pain. You give pain me. You give pain me. Pain me. You finally start to get back in the game, and you make a mistake. I disagree that should be what called that, but like at the end of the day, that is technically the rule. Australian under-11s team would put a score on England. Mate, Sam Constas has been so poor for Australia, and even he'd put a score on England. Had a great innings against Bumrah, and unfortunately hasn't been able to emulate it since. So second tackle now for the Broncos. They're at the 45, and now Xavier Willison to the halfway point, third tackle. Sebon says, turned up late, but looks like a few drinks were had after the jelly wrestling last night. Does it really look that bad? Hey, my mate got a knockout in the first round, dude. So we had a big night. Yeah, we had a big night. Fourth tackle here for the Broncos at the 40. So much so that I'm not doing Dragons Eels, but I will do Dolphins Rabbitohs. Adam Reynolds here. No, he gets the offload away to Ezra Mam. And Ezra gives it out right. Oh, jeez, that's a huge hit. Oh, that's a big hit there. That's a huge hit there from Chanel Harris to Vita. Wow, Constance fell off since silencing India, for sure. And Warriors now, we take it down to the 10. Sam says that he has a mate that does good boxing interviews. That's nice. That's nice. Who is it? You got a good mate? That's nice that someone's your friend. Everyone says, what on earth was that knock on? Top 4 teams should never make those mistakes. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so the Warriors now at the 10. Lucas says, we had no 50-50s today. Not that the team has put up a good performance. Agree. I do think the 50-50s have absolutely led with the Broncos. With that being said, I also agree the Warriors have been dreadful. But the 50-50s have gone in favour of the Broncos, absolutely. I don't know what's happening here. The referees told them to go back. So fit tackle at their own 30. Wade Egan gives it out to Metcalf, and that kick's only going to go to about the 40 on the Broncos side of the field. Jack Lewis says, Australia good at cricket. Well, yeah, we know that. And rugby league, yeah, we know that. That's where their sporting skills end. Hey, just a reminder, Jack, again, we've had this conversation before. Again, we have won the same amount of intercontinental trophies as you have in your sport of football. And also, secondly, we have more Rugby World Cups than you in rugby. So I don't know where you're getting the audacity. And also, mind you, sorry, just forgot to mention this. When the Commonwealth Games were in England, Australia actually topped the medal count. They got more gold medals than you in your own home country. So I would shush in regards to talking as if Australia is only good at 2 sports. Because that is the most dog shit comment I've ever seen. Go through every single sport. We've got more World Cups in pretty much everything. Oh, sorry, you got 1 World Cup in 1950, bloody 66. For what? Oh, Broncos here. 5 minutes out. You get slapped every time, Jack. I don't even know why you bother. I don't even know why you bother, because every single time it just gives me ammunition to tell you how shit your nation is at the sports that you created. You created them, and we have more trophies in pretty much every sport than you do, and we did you over in England in the Commonwealth Games. Did you over in England. In England. Just a reminder. Just a reminder. Broncos here, 5 metres out, and now it's going to be fit tackle 3 metres out. You have 1 more Rugby World Cup than us. That's all I need to read from that, because guess what? More is the key word. 1 more, 2 more, 3 more, still more. So the Warriors will get the ball here at no, it's going to be a dropout. It will be a dropout. It will be a dropout. Anyway, I'm going to move on from you, bro, because it's so easy to wipe the floor with England when it comes to sport from Australia's perspective. But we could sit here all day, and I could shit on you all day, but we're not going to do that. We're going to focus more on this game. Sam Jackinson says England good at rugby. I know, it's hilarious. That's why you read his comment. He tries it every single time on these streams, and you're just like they're delusional. Like, the guy is like quite literally delusional. Quite literally. So the Warriors now will go for the short dropout, and that'll be caught by the Broncos. Good catch, actually. Oh, no, it's a knock on. No, it is a knock on. So the Warriors will get the ball here at the 10. Lucas says, Jack, you guys have to put together 4 countries to make a rugby team to compete with the Southern Hemisphere. And they lost to Argentina. And they lost to Argentina. Yeah, I thought he caught that originally, but he definitely did not in any capacity. In any capacity. Ian says Western Force probably beat the Lions today. England can't even win the Six Nations. It's also true. When was the last time England actually won the Six Nations? This is what I mean, though. This conversation happens quite frequently with this guy. He just never listens. I don't understand it. The guy is living in La La Land. Like, he's living in La La Land. The way that he tries to talk down about Australian sport is hilarious, considering the amount of trophies we have in every one of them, more than every one, except for football. And so you won 1 World Cup, and that's your only sport that you really, really, really care about. And that was before you were born, so you didn't even get to celebrate it. And we don't even really try at football. Well, Australia barely even tries at football because we've got rugby league and AFL that we focus on, and then we've got cricket. And then there's rugby union. Socceroos have been getting better support, but at the end of the day, Australia will never really completely go with football. All right, so Metcalf now, he rolls it at the back. But anyway, we've established that you are of the most utter delusional state. We're going to get back to this. Fit tackle now for all the Warriors waiting, and gets it off to Harris Tavita. And Harris Tavita kicks this one down into the corner, where Reece Walsh picks it up at the 15. And after a couple of little ballerina steps that did nothing, he'll get taken down 18 minutes out. How much time left in the game? Lacana, 19 minutes. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here, guys. 19 minutes to go here. Broncos up 20-6. I just can't see the Warriors coming back in. They've had plenty of opportunities and they just don't do it. They just haven't done it. Ian says, genuinely think this year's Ashes will be the closest in a while in Oz. Not that it's hard, but Oz batting is shocking compared to recent years. Yeah, I agree, but England's still England. But I do agree. I still give 0% chance of England winning, but I think it'll definitely be closer. New Zealand guys, the Warriors are done. In this game, they just haven't been good enough, mate. Again, the 50-50 calls haven't gone their way, but like they just haven't been good enough. It was rough losing Charles Newell-Klukstad to an injury, but still, they just haven't been up to it. So Tamati Martin brings the ball out into the 30. Be surprised if it's 5-0. Absolutely, because the SCG always gets rained out, so you'll probably see 4-0. Second tackle now. And the Warriors, they'll get this ball out here to the 45 on third tackle. Seb says, so what I'm hearing is Waz robbed. Hey, by the way, Seb, very, very good play from you oh, far out, Warriors. Oh my gosh. New Zealand, please. New Zealand, please. New Zealand, please. Please, New Zealand, please. Stop knocking the ball on every second. Every second of the day. Please stop knocking the ball on. Stop knocking the ball on. Stop it, please. Please stop the knock of the ball of it on. I beg of you. Please. I beg. Okay, we're back. Livy says we aren't frauds anymore. Well, you guys have been the better team here, by far. You guys have been the better team here. But I'm still waiting for it to be proven in regards to like going up against the really big dog teams, because this Warriors team has been super vulnerable of late. Super, super vulnerable. Like, again, this has been a better performance. I would say this performance was... I don't know if this was better than the Sharks' performance. I would say the Sharks' second half was pretty good. This has been okay, but they've made a lot of errors, man. I don't know, the Broncos have still got a lot of problems, but they're definitely not on fraud alert. But they were on fraud alert last week. They will be in 5th position, but you can still see a lot of holes in the game. I do think the Broncos, against a team that isn't as inept in attack as the Warriors today, they would have gotten beaten by the Dogs, they would have gotten beaten by the Raiders, and they would have gotten beaten by the Storm here today. I don't know about the Roosters, because the Roosters knock the ball on just as much as the Broncos do, to be completely honest with you. That's a knock on Broncos. Otherwise, that was game. The Roosters actually knocked the ball on about 300 more times than the Broncos and win their games. Billy Walters for Origin fullback. Listen, I'll take it at this point. I'll take it. So what I'm hearing is Waz Rob. Please don't encourage him, Seb. Please don't encourage him. La La London. Exactly right. So 15 minutes to go here of the game. And it was actually a penalty here to the Warriors. So they'll get this ball out here to the 40. Seb says, really appreciate the positive comment about me there, whatever it was going to be. What I was going to say was it was very smart of you to not get involved in the sporting debate of Australia versus England just then. It wasn't even a debate. It was just an absolute smackdown. But it was very smart of you to not get involved. But then again, you're a seasoned veteran here on the channel, mate. Seasoned veteran. So proud of you for realising that your country's not as good as us at sport. Second tackle here at the 40 for the Warriors. Now the third tackle, and they'll be 33 metres out. Wow, he will take Billy Walters. Well, just so they don't have to hear the circle jerking of Reece Welch that we get on these streams every single bloody damn well week. Because that's probably what Billy's going to do, considering that Cameron Pong is injured. Aloy Lucana says, the Warriors were doing well in the beginning of the season. What's happened now? It's just a bit of a slump, man. This is what happens to all teams. All teams go through slumps. Again, funnily enough, I think the Raiders are in one now and they're still winning. Fifth tackle now, they'll be 20 metres out. Luke Metcalf is down here. No, he's grabbing at his ankle. God bless him. Shit, that's not good, man. You don't want to be seeing your halfback go down like that. Oh, the Warriors are going to score. Warriors out of nowhere have just scored. Leka Halasima out of nowhere just scored underneath the post. Hello? Hello? What? That's insane. The Broncos should have scored a try down the other end of the field. Instead, the Warriors have come up the other end of the field and Leka Halasima has scored. And just as Metcalf goes down injured as well, so that he wasn't the one who kicked that ball, and the Warriors are back into the game here with 14 minutes to go. It's only going to be an 8-point game. It's only going to be an 8-point game. Try time bing bong mada bish broggy. Leka Halasima with the bing bong. With a bing bong. So Watson says, I like to run in, kick the hornet's nest, and run out the Aussie versus England sport debate. Well, it's not a debate. It's a smackdown. It's a smackdown, son. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, Broncos. It's only going to be an 8-point game. The Warriors just simply haven't been great today, but yet they have got a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance here, New Zealand? So you're telling me there's a chance they just find a way to stay in a hunt? Yeah, was. Lucas says, Warriors have such a good young crop of forwards. They do. Oh, no, guys. Oh, Warriors fans, look away. Luke Metcalf can't walk. Luke Metcalf is being helped off the field. That's rough. If you're not able to walk off the field, that's probably a significant injury. And touch wood, I'm wrong. Touch wood, I'm wrong. But, yeah, Seb, time for a bit of tan. Get a bit of tan going. He doesn't miss. The old Tanner boy does not miss. The old Tan boy does not miss. Okay, yeah, at least he's like moving his legs though. Like it's not like he's being carried off the field, but he does need help getting off the field. It's a huge shot there from Piakura, and he's on report. Okay, so if they're saying this is okay, so Tanner boy can come on as an 18th man because it was a foul play. So Tanner boy can come on now. No? If it's on report, then that... No, it's not a bin. That's not a bin. But if that's foul, if they've considered that foul play, so Tanner boy should be able to come on. Sam Walker does not miss. I've made him miss. All right, so the Warriors now, and it'll be Fisher Harris who gets his ball out here to the 20. That's a late on report call. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so, but you can surely activate your 18th man. Second tackle here at the 25. Ibrahim says, I'm getting tired of watching Brisbane always giving the other team so many chances in games when we are leading. The Broncos have got problems still, man. They definitely do. But the Warriors out of the right-hand side, they'll be 40 metres out of their own line. 4 tackle. Rockaberry fan club, he goes it himself. He brings it out here to the 50, and it'll be fit tackle. I don't see what was wrong with that tackle, to be honest. It was late, is what they call. And whether you agree with it being late or not, like it's up for debate. But it was after he kicked it, and that is what they call. England couldn't even beat the Kurubai Koalas. Kurubai Koalas, they're a good team, mate. Very good team. Younguna Schooners, mate. The Younguna Schooners, that's the one we're waiting for. That's the one we're watching. Ronald says, can the Warriors score 2 more tries now? That is the aim of the game, mate, to score more points than the opposition team. And the Warriors are trying to do that. They are still down by 8 points. They don't even need 2 tries, but if they get 2 tries, then that'd be great. But they only need 1 converted try and a 2-point field goal or a penalty. It's actually crazy how close this game is considering where both teams have been at. So, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is playing fullback at the moment, and he'll get this ball at the 5. Brings it out either to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Good solid run there from Roger. But make sure you click the live button on the stream, mate. Yeah, Seb, it's alright. He's insulted England, even if he's about 20 minutes behind. At least he did the right thing by the stream. Good offload there for the Warriors. And they're away here. Harris Tavita at the 45, at the 40, and Reece Walsh actually makes a tackle for the first time in his life. Arguably, that's a second attempt there. You absolutely could argue that was a bin there for Reece Walsh, and that was a bad pass, but Warriors are away here again. They're at the 40. Oh, take it down to the 38. This has actually turned into a mental game. 10 minutes to go here of the game, guys. 10 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe. And Marata Niokore, he's going to be 25 metres out of the line. 4 tackle. 4 tackle, and you can hear a good Warriors chant happening at Suncorp. That's a huge Warriors chant at Suncorp, man. Damn, okay. Right-hand side's the first time I've heard them all day, to be fair. Harris DeVita puts that up in the air in a good area. Well, there's a player who's... Oh, it's a knock on Broncos, and it's a penalty to the Warriors. Don't go for the 2, Ian. Ian, don't go for the 2. We've gone through this. We've gone over this, Ian. Do not go for the 2. Do not do it. But a 2 does make sense to bring within 6. But go for the try. 10 minutes to go. It's a penalty here to the Warriors. It would have been a knock on Broncos anyway, but Ezra Mam clearly is taking Lek Alasima out there. Reece Gilbert says the Wars will never win the premiership. Thank you for letting us know that. Don't know why you had to say that, but sure. All right, so the Warriors are coming home strong at the moment. 4 metres out of the line. First tackle. 8 points the difference. 8 points the difference. They go at the back here to Fisher Harris, and Fisher Harris will get taken down 5 metres out by Billy Walters. Second tackle. Second tackle. Then they spread it here. Tamati Martin. Back here to Wade Egan. Wade Egan off to Fisher Harris. Fisher Harris, what's going on here, Warriors? Well, it's all over the shop. Now they're 3 metres out, third tackle. They looked like they had numbers and then didn't pass it. It was just here, there, and everywhere.
Wade Egan, he'll go out to the right side. The crowd's mental behind. Warriors here! Oh, it's a knock on. Oh, they would have scored. Oh my gosh, they would have scored. Edward Kosey has knocked the ball on. They would have scored in the wing. I tell you what though, Broncos, you are getting out-chanted in your own stadium. The Warriors are slaughtering you in regards to the chance because the atmosphere is all in favour of the Warriors at the moment. That was a beautiful ball. Should have taken the 2 inches. No. NRL don't want the trophy to go across the Tasman. Oh, come on, please. Are you trying to tell me, are you trying to say that the referees have impacted this game? You can't tell me you've watched this game, watched the Warriors, and told me the Warriors have deserved to be in the lead here. Like, both teams have made plenty of mistakes. Both teams have a lot of problems at the moment. The Warriors are in a little bit of a slump for sure, but you know they'll find a way to bounce out of it with their upcoming draw. But there's no way you're going to sit there and tell me that the referees are the reason the Warriors are losing this game here today. Because that's what it alludes to. I'm not sure that's what you're saying, but that's just what it alludes to when you're saying that the NRL don't want the trophy to go across the Tasman. You know, it's like saying the referees are the reason why team loses and blah, blah, blah. I will disagree with you on a long-term level, but on an immediate short-term level, I will agree with you. I don't think that they... I wouldn't necessarily think that the NRL would want the Warriors to win in the near future. But considering the progression of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck will get this ball here at the 10, considering the progression of rugby league in New Zealand, I do think they'll want it in the mid-range future. Second tackle here for the Warriors. So it is a right leg injury here for Luke Metcalf. So I don't think he's going to be back here today. No, nothing to do with ref. It's an Australian comp. But that doesn't make sense, though. If you're saying that the NRL doesn't want... But what does the NRL have to do with it, then? If you're not saying it's to do with the referees, then what does that comment actually mean? Because if it's not to do with the referees, then the Warriors, oh, that's going to be taken. Damn, Tony Staggs has just sent that man back to yesteryear. Oh, and it's a knock-on from the Warriors too. That is a whopping tackle there from Tony Staggs, and you can't even blame it. You can't even blame it. Yeah, I don't understand what's happening, Jay. So he lost the ball before Staggs even got to him, but like he folded him. He slaughtered him just then. Seb Watson says Aussie comp, but Perth are in it. Yeah, I know. Perth is not Australian, mate. That's why it's called Western Australia. You know, you see Queensland it doesn't have Queensland Australia. There's no New South Australia. South Australia's that we welcome them in. It's fine. Perth, Western Australia. It's not Australian, mate. New Zealand's more Australia than Perth. So the Broncos, we're taking down to 45. Sam says shit take from Reese. I just don't understand I don't understand what he's trying to say, because at the end of the day, if you're saying that the NRL doesn't want the Warriors to win the comp, then that means that you're alluding to the referees being involved because the NRL's trying to make sure they don't win the comp. If you're not saying the referees are involved, then what does the NRL have to do with the Warriors not winning the comp? Like, that would just come down to the Warriors not winning the comp, nothing to do with the NRL. Do you know what I'm saying? So the Broncos here out of the left-hand side. It's going to be 6 again, and... Oh, he's over the sideline. He's over the sideline. But the advantage has definitely been taken there. So that's going to be Warriors ball at the 10. They've just saved their game. That was a really nice run there from Tasai Karapani. Really nice run. But ultimately, he will be taken on the sideline. He's just saved your game. Yeah, it's a fantastic tackle there from Roger. Fantastic tackle. Ian says... Reese says, well, it's still Australia. Reese, I'm going to be honest with you. You're not making a great deal of sense. I know you probably think you're making sense, but ultimately you're not really making a great deal of sense. So it's like, in Australia or not, if you're not blaming the referees, it has nothing to do with what your comment makes absolutely zero sense unless you're utilising officiating in your comment. Like, it doesn't make sense. And the Warriors away. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. No, it's a penalty to the Broncos. And that probably is the game. That is probably the game. But Ian says, surprise Dragons are favourites for the next game. Eels going to roll them. I'm not going to be live for the Eels-Dragons game, but I will be live for the Dolphins-Rabbitohs game later on. I will be live for the Dolphins-Rabbitohs game. 5 minutes 22 to go here. The Warriors are going to challenge this call. But I'm pretty certain it is going to be an obstruction. Yeah. Ezra, you're a diving dog, dude. You're a diving dog. Like, it is contact and it is a penalty, but he's a diving dog. Michael says we stay fourth on the ladder. You do stay fourth on the ladder, but your points differential's not good. And you're in a lot of trouble because the Broncos are going to be 4 points behind you. And the Panthers are going to be 5 points behind you. The Roosters are going to be 4 points behind you. You do have a decent run over the next 4 weeks that can kind of put you back into some good form, but it is concerning that they are coming back to the pack a little bit. But at least you've seen something from them in this second half that they've gotten themselves back into the game. It's not over yet. There's 5 minutes 20 to go. As long as you don't concede here, it's sweet. You still got a chance. Seb Watson's going to get a facial to fix those tired eyes. Mate, I'm tired. Yeah, I am. I'm not going to lie. Let Dark Fight said, I'm going to get a coffee. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I woke up 5 minutes before I did this stream. Second tackle now at the 10 for the Broncos. 5 minutes left. Billy Walters gets it out here to Adam Reynolds. Reynolds to Reece Walsh. Reece Walsh gives it to Ricky. Nearly knocked that ball on, but he'll be taken down 10 metres out. Third tackle. The Dark Fight says that wouldn't have happened if the NRL didn't let him play. Who are we talking about? And now Patrick Carrigan's going to be 5 metres out. Fourth tackle. Lucas, Adam G has really fell off as a ref since that final. Don't disagree. I agree with you. Out to the left, that's Mam, and Shibasaki will score. That's the game. And that's game over. The Broncos will score 24-12 here with a kick to come. And unfortunately, Brisbane Broncos fans... Oh, no, sorry, not unfortunately Broncos fans. Unfortunately, New Zealand Warriors fans, it is a deserved result. You just haven't been, unfortunately, good enough here today. And honestly, the Broncos deserve the result, but there's a lot of things that you can pick out from their team and say, well, shit, they're lucky they played the Warriors today, because the Warriors weren't good, and the Broncos were a bit better for sure. They were, I would say, a lot better, but there's still absolutely concerning signs of both of these teams. Sebon says, Chai T, you're getting a minute timeout, that's for sure. You're getting a nice little cheeky 1 minute timeout. Chai means tea, tea means chai. Dearie me. Michael Paul, Warriors haven't looked promising these last 2 games. They haven't, but again, like I was saying, so it's 24-12, there's a couple minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe for new around here. I will be back for the Dolphins Rabbitohs game later. But the Warriors, they will have the bye next week. Then the Tigers, who are just awful. The Knights, who are a little bit better than awful at the moment. The Titans, who are clearly top of the table, as you can see by the ladder. The Dolphins, and then they take on the Bulldogs and whatnot. Now, the Warriors don't actually take on the Storm again this year. So they only had to take them on once. They've got a pretty cruisy run home. Warriors are top 4, man. Like, Warriors will be top 4. If you lose the Tigers, then you just give it up. If you lose the Tigers, you just give it up. And they will get the kick. So it will be 26-12 with 3 minutes to go here of the game. Disappointed with my Wires today. Yeah, it's been disappointing. But again, all teams go through slumps, mate. Like, this has been a bit of a tough stretch where the Panthers are definitely on the come up again. The Broncos have had a bit of good form recently, even though they played the 7th place Titans. They play a Sharks team that's the biggest scammers that ever did scam in the history of scamming. Like, they basically, the Sharks reside in Nigeria and India. That's how big of scammers the Indian Nigerian Sharks are. And then now they've taken on the Warriors where, you know, like, this is their better win of the 3. But it's like them and the Roosters are the same kind of team at the moment. The Warriors get the short kick, and Wade Egan will get crunched down at the 31st tackle. The Warriors and the Roosters, the Broncos and the Roosters are the same teams. They make so many errors, but they just find a way to win games. Go the Broncos. Hopefully they catch the top of the table Titans. Exactly right, Benjamin. You know, one can only hope. Like, it's not going to happen. The Titans have never lost a game in the history of rugby league, which is, you know, something that a lot of NRL fans, they're not a big fan of. But, you know, it's a bit of a womp-womp at the end of the day. It's a bit of a womp-womp, and it's a bit of a you problem, not a me problem, as the Titans just go on to win their 19th straight premiership. You know, it's amazing to see. Grass McGrath with the big play there, and Warriors with the ball at the 25. Reese says, digging a hole, justify the Warriors. What are you fucking even talking about, dude? I don't... What's digging a hole? I don't think you know what you're talking about, let alone we know what you're talking about. Let Darkfire says, if the NRL didn't let Ezra Mann play, that penalty wouldn't have happened. Okay. And and I don't even know how to respond to you. Third tackle, that's dumbfounding, that comment. But sure, I don't even know how to respond to you. So Patrick Harrigan here, he'll get spotted at 35. Barnett is a big loss. You're right, Barnett was a massive loss. He was a huge loss. And I don't know. Yeah, it's not looking necessarily pretty too, because Luke Metcalf has gone off injured, and it was he won't be back. He's obviously not back for this game, and he was having a really good season. So you really hope that God bless him. You really hope his injury isn't too bad. Step one says, mate, move on. Some weird agenda. Who's your team? Yeah, I know. It's really like this narrative that I don't even think that Reese knows what he's talking about, let alone us. Nikhil says all our injuries are coming at the wrong time. Better time than the Rabbitohs, because all their injuries have come at the entire season. But yeah, you're right. This is rugby league though. This is sport though, man. Injuries happen. How's your depth? How is your depth? You got Big Tanner Boy to come in. Get around Tan. Leka Halasima gets the offload away. The Warriors are away. The Warriors are away. They flip the ball off again, and this time they actually caught it. They kick this ball down into the quarter where it will be... Oh, no, Reynolds. He drops it, but it goes backwards, and then he gets out of the end goal. It's a knock-on. Well, there's no way you'd say that was a knock-on from Reynolds. You'd challenge. Not that you need a challenge, but I don't understand how they've called that a knock-on. Don't forget, guys, we will be live for Dolphins, Rabbitohs. We will not be live for Eels and Dragons. I'm going to have something to eat and a coffee and warm myself up for that one. For the last game of the day. And then we will be live for both games tomorrow. That's knocked backwards. Yeah. It makes no sense that Adam G's called that knock-on. Mitchell says, at least your whole spine isn't out. That is a great shout. That is a great shout. But with that being said, even when your full spine is there, the Tigers are still the Tigers. That's the issue. Reese's go to the Rabbitohs. So why are you so upset about the Warriors if you're a Rabbitohs fan? What's your problem with the Wars? Why are you so triggered by the Warriors as a Rabbitohs fan? So 31 seconds to go here at the game. It's 26-12 to the Bronx. Unfortunately, Warriors, I'm going to have to keep you on the old fraud alerty. I'm going to have to keep you on the old fraud alert. He's a Wars hater. I actually don't get how people can be Wars haters, though. Like, I don't know what the Wars... Like, I guess a lot of Australian... There is a lot of really brutal and difficult to deal with at games Australian Warriors fans, but the Warriors fans in New Zealand are nothing but amazing. Fraud alert. Oh, absolutely. Fraud alert, New Zealand guy. Absolutely. 2 seconds to go here, and the final score will be 26-12 for the Broncos. They will jump up into 5th position. Warriors, for the first time this year, will lose back-to-back games. They will stay in 4th position regardless. Now, it didn't really matter about the Storm anyway, but the Storm can put a 2-point separator between them, and that's ultimately going to be a 4-point separator. Now the Warriors are ultimately a 6-point separator from the Bulldogs and the Raiders, because the Raiders have a 104 points differential, Bulldogs have a 96 points differential, Warriors have a plus 25, then remove this loss of 14, so they're actually plus 11. So that shows that you need to win 3 games to go above them, rather than just the 2 games to equalise with them because of the points differential. And the Storm is going to probably drag it away if they go above beat the Sharks tomorrow. So getting nervous there for the Warriors, getting a little bit nervous, but they'll be fine. They're just in a bit of a slump right now. Broncos, like I said, they will go up to 5th position. They will not move from there this weekend. They have a couple of tough games. They have a pretty tough back-end stretch, I'm pretty certain. Just to quickly go back over here, I know they play the Storm twice, and they usually lose them. Next week, the Broncos play the Bulldogs at a core stadium in Sydney, so that'll be a really big test. You know what? Like, if you win that game, I'll say you're back. Like, I'll say you're back. Like, if you can win against the Dogs down there in Sydney, I'll really ride home the Broncos and say that, they're back well and truly in form. Yes, they've won 3 games in a row. Sharks, vulnerable as shit. Warriors, I don't know what's happening with them right now. And the Titans, they are just shocking. So, that Bulldogs game will tell me a lot. Then they play the Titans again in a bye. Eels, Rabbitohs. But then they take on the Storm, the Dolphins, and the Storm in the last 5 weeks. So that's a pretty tough run home there for the Bronx. But ultimately, good win for them here. They move into 5th. We will be not on live for the Dragons versus Eels game, guys, but we will be live for the Dolphins versus Rabbitohs. So I will see you then. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And I'll read a couple of comments before we jump off. I'll read a couple of comments before I go get coffee. Reese says, I don't hate the Wars, I'm a Kiwi, but the Warriors have and never will win the comp. Okay. Sure. Like, that's your opinion. I don't know why you're so adamant with it. Like, why are you so adamant with it? I do know a lot of Kiwis who actually aren't Warriors fans, though. Like my boy, Uncle Tix, Leighton, he supports the Storm and he's from Hamilton. But, you know, it is what it is. Mark says, I would have had 12 Hickey than Kosi, to be honest. Well, now that Luke Metcalf's out, you're probably going to be having to bring in Tam Boyd to the 14. You're probably going to put... No, because Tam Boyd's a 7, Tamani Martin's a 6, and Harris Tavita's a 6. But then again, you could put Harris Tavita to the 7, and then you could put Tamani Martin into the 6, and then Tanner Boyd into the 14. Or you just bring on the pure 7 of Tanner Boyd into the 7 and have a Harris Tavita 6 and keep Tamani Martin as the 14. At least you got a solid kicker. I don't know. It's worrying, man. But Kosi wasn't great. My opinion says Warriors can't deal with pressure. Don't disagree with that. They've kind of proven that over many years. Sebon says, good luck with those eyes. Get some cucumber on them before the last stream. You're a muppet. Kosi comfortable at Warriors needs to go. But all right, guys, I appreciate you. I'll see you on the Dolphins versus Rabbitohs game. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya. And don't ever forget, this is a scam team down there in the Sharks. Massive, massive scam team.